Welcome in, everyone. The Turbo Cup continues, this time with North America. I'm here with Mad Magical, Zikaric, and Logic to bring you all the action. We've got four whole people to hold down the fort here, analyze the games between hand, go hype and crazy during the match. And I know, Zik, we've got some amazing teams here that qualified. And why don't you run me through what we saw with yesterday's matches?
I mean, it was such a exciting day yesterday because it was 8 games EU in the morning, 2 different groups, and then 8 games NA at night. For the NA group specifically, it was a lot of our normal kind of culprits that we would expect. TLD, BAP. We actually don't. One of our top teams, 10, is not in the mix, but they are under a new guise of Cow. So 2 of the players, RTK and Dylan, are still gaming. They picked up Diamond, a third on the Myth. They were actually looking exceptionally strong for not kind of having their normal group. And then my eyes, as kind of like a sleeper squad that just sort of formed up for Vive Camp over the last month, is LC, man. These guys are so fun to watch, and they've multiple times are contesting these top squads that have been playing together for months and months, even taking, full victories yesterday. So I mean, there's really there's a ton to talk about for the different teams, but as a starting point, that's kind of where my eyes are.
Yeah, and we're going to have plenty of time to dive in and look at some of the clips from there. Before we do, though, I want to ask you, Logic. Obviously, we've had a big new season, new patch coming in. Do you have any fun expectations for whether it's a Nyx or some new strategies you might be seeing today?
I think not. So in a weird way, Nyx I think is going to be fun. I will be surprised to see Nyx today just because it's such a new hunter and there's just so much on the line. But I think the Booper is just hilarious to me. Please get rid of it. But in the meantime, just everyone getting moved around and just stun locked in walls, I think it's just hysterical to me. So I think those are kind of really the only things I'm paying attention to. Other than, of course, I think it goes without saying, having souls on day 1, which is just incredible and such a boost for your early game.
Yeah, the early game's gotten a whole lot more exciting. And, I was really just I've been asking, because me and Magical, we did EU in the morning, and I was just hoping someone would tell me we'd see some Nyx. We saw, a Nyx pick?
We definitely saw more Nyx in A than we did. In qualifiers yesterday, Phenom from TLD, we saw at least 2 or 3 that were really holding on to it, sticking with it. I definitely think we're going to see more than we saw in EU. TBD, obviously, but I'm expecting it.
Okay, that gets me excited. I think now's a good time we can go ahead and bring up the leaderboards from the qualifiers. I know Magical and Zik, you were both casting that. So Magical, you wanna let us know what went down with Cow?
I mean, Cow, they looked really strong. It's one of our teams. They're essentially, they are 10. And we already know that 10's kind of been that third team, the third string for NA for some time. But I think the big thing is it wasn't just Cow showing up, but LC, Last Chance. This team I've got my eyes on because they have been slowly but surely popping off in more and more tournaments and really closing that gap. So before, we were always looking at TLD, who got 3rd. BAP here only got 5th place. Ban's kind of in that dark horse that's come out of nowhere, but 10 were the 3rd string for a while. But LC now are a part of these conversations, and I think this might make this region way closer than we've ever seen in the history of NA, with having 5 really solid teams at the top.
Yeah, and I want to shout out Ban, because we did see a little bit that you got to see last weekend, Ender. We saw some hype Aluna heart teleport air blast plays.
Yeah.
Actually, some more crazy ones somehow than we saw last weekend. And Ban also has a slightly different look. We talked about the player swap for 10 now being Cow. Ban does not have glass at the moment. They I'm trying to remember who. It's Tsunami as their 3rd, actually a fellow caster bro showing up on the field and on the Tetra. So this comp, it's Bebo, Tetra, Aluna. It is creative, it is scary, and I cannot wait to watch some more of it.
Man, I love the way Ban was playing. I want to see way more of that. I think with Ban and BAP from yesterday when we were watching last week when we were running the tournament, I was so excited to continue seeing them play well. But Magical, is there anyone else that stuck out to you from the quals?
Like I said, LC is my big team, but I kind of like a lot of these teams that are towards the bottom that really, they were able to show up and played their hearts out. Sad, one of those teams. They were a brand new team. They signed up and they got put through the ringer, but they played their hearts out. They tried so hard. And hey, the fact they got points when you're in a lobby like TLD, Ban, BAP, LC, Cow, and yet you're finding at least some points, you'll take it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Let's keep that going. Logic, what else do you have for yesterday's quals?
So one thing, not necessarily a team that sticks out, but I was just surprised to see how many Alunas there were, because that's just like, at least prior to season 2, that was really a really underplayed hunter, and just seeing kind of Alunas pop up left and right. I'm a little curious to see if that's going to continue or if that's just a short-term fad, if you will.
Hey, I hope so. I'm a proud Aluna one trick. We'll keep it going. But we can go ahead and jump on over to our other group of teams that were able to qualify. No Cow, Ban, and BAP, but Zick, talk to me about this squad coming in.
So something I was about to call out is if we look at that last leaderboard, HYD was at 13 points in 10th, okay? Now we look at this leaderboard, HYD's first with 118. So, you know, kind of the difference in the lobbies. I think, you know, part of it's probably HYD kind of finding their stride, like heating up a bit. And same thing with Jan, right? But this goes to show a little bit of the sort of skill disparities between Lobby A and Lobby B playing yesterday, where a lot of our established teams kind of duking it out first to make it through. And you know, like a lot of these teams are brand new. So we saw some names we recognize, some players we recognize, but the actual formation of teams, especially like the likes of like TGE and Berserk and stuff, brand new. So a lot of heart, honestly, for showing up and trying to face off against the top players in the business. But I think HYD made like kind of a statement here.
They did. Like, honestly, looking at how they played, they dominated in the first few games. Last one, they just played for fun because they knew that they had advanced. They were going into the finals. They were playing in the Turbo Cup. But I want to talk about some of the teams that were in the middle there. Looking at Dog, QA, LNF, and Archangels. I felt for Archangels because those last 2 games they played nearly were enough to be able to overcome the deficit because they were way down in the dumps beforehand. And they played so well, but unfortunately just not well enough to overcome LNF and to be able to beat them out for that last spot.
And one thing to note is just that first lobby, of course, you have all your heavy hitters, you know, your BAP, your TLD. I'm curious to see how things are going to look now that the lobbies are merged, just because some of these top teams here, maybe they felt a little like they could be lazy, if you will, or they're like, we're just trample over them, they're newer teams. But when you have, you know, your BAP, your TLD, when you don't know who's necessarily beside you, I wonder if they're going to kind of play as aggressive as they are, or if they're going to be a little more conservative, and how that's going to shake up the standings with a bunch of these teams.
Logic right here at the cutoff, bro. Your boys LNF, like we were like, it's Logic's team without Logic.
Well, okay.
Well, dude, it was really cool to see because I feel like you guys have been scaling. I really wanted to see you out there, obviously, but I'd rather have you on the desk with me if I'm being real. It's such a pleasure to cast with. But this cutoff right here, bro, at the end in game 6, if SVA won the game, they needed to wipe the other squad and get first, and they would have tied LNF at 43, and that would have sent them with the game victory tiebreaker over LNF. So I just wanted to comment on the fact that like it's just really cool to see ex-DLV or part of DLV making it through.
Yeah, it was, I actually messaged them. I was watching the last game. I was actually on the couch yelling at the screen. I was like, what are you doing? No, go in. Like, oh, you missed that chance. But I was glad that they did put up a showing. I gave them a few pointers of things that I saw. When you're playing on a team, not everyone, they take your opinion, but it's a little, I'm right here. I'm like, I'm on the outside, guys. I don't even really care. But it was nice to see what they were able to do and some of these other new teams. So now, though, now's when it matters. You qualified, but it's the playoffs. It's the Super Bowl now.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, I'm very excited to hear you mauled a little bit on the cast when you can watch these teams and you can't actually be there to tell them anything. But before we jump to the games, I do want to run everybody through the format for leaderboard today. We're playing 6 games with these teams where they'll be earning points over the end to come up with a leaderboard at the end of all of it. The top 3 teams are going to be in contention for prize money with $2,500 on the line. After 3 maps, we're going to have 3 hunter bands going in, but for game number 1, I'm going to step away. I'm going to take Logic with me. It'll be Magical and Zick on the call. Let's go into game.
Getting into game 1 for NA
Let's
Turbo
go.
Cup, Zick. It has been a long time coming, a big tournament. We had EU earlier in the morning, and now we get North America playing for the prize. And which team will come out on top? What one will be the kings of NA? BAP, currently they are wearing the crown, but any team could snatch that away from them.
Yeah, dude, it's actually such an exciting lobby here. And like the qualifiers made it that much more exciting because like I think we probably have the closest like tier 1 competitive lobby we've seen in North America since 1.0 started.
It makes me very excited because normally it's EU where it's really close.
Yep.
We see how they play,
Ooh.
and right there, unfortunately for LC, I was hyping him up, but maybe that was an early cast a curse on them because they lose Misfit pretty quick when they drop hot onto BAP.
Yeah, and this BAP gold armor start, it's classic. We know it. We love it. No one can stop it, apparently, because it happens every game. So eyes on BAP, early dropping for golds. They're extremely proficient at playing the strategy out well. We can see it here with the knock on to LC. Toilet still level 1. Jet Ski level 2 getting completely starved out by BAP claiming Scav Bay.
Dread it, fight for it. BAP will find gold armors all the same. It always seems to be the case. Nobody can ever truly stop them. But some teams are fighting early, all the way over in mana. Nice pull from Stealth Ninja onto Cow, looking to see if they can get that pick early, getting a lot of damage onto Dylan, but he goes right back at them, dunking Stealth Ninja, who had the pull initially.
Yeah, very like kind of unusual mistake from Stealth Ninja. This guy has like been showing up so consistently, actually. Like he's just not found like a staple team. He's kind of been bouncing around, but his kind of performance and now getting to see him connecting with BDE here again, like we could almost call out every one of these squads individually, like as a squad to look out for, because again, like I think the skill disparity in NA is just like getting tighter and tighter. And there's really like, like especially you were mentioning at the beginning, like LC for a team that just came together for Vive Camp, which you guys heard Magical mention. Vive Camp last weekend was the finale. It was $1,000 cash prize tournament, and that was BAP walking away with first place, but it was LC very much contesting them, and TLD being right behind BAP as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately for LC, they ended up losing out on any of the prize pool to 10, who snatched away 3rd place from him. It was a fight for the top 1 spot between TLD and BAP. BAP came out ahead, TLD 2nd place, 10, 3rd place, narrowly edging out LC. But LC, like, I love their story too. Yeah. Toilet actually gave me like a great story about this team and how he formed this team as what he considers his last chance in SUPERVIVE. He's played for many teams, and we know Toilet is such a great player, yet for some reason, just a lot of the teams that he's been on have not been able to stick around. And LC, their last chance, looking like a really strong last chance because they have been playing so well.
Dude, I low-key just got some goosebumps, bro. That is actually awesome to hear. Because all these guys, DTF getting caught there. Cow finding another pick. Level 7's online for 2 members. Want to press this ult advantage in day 1. It does look like Squaw has Mercury left, going to be Dylan. Goroy as well on the retreat.
Did you see that? There's a base camp in Manic Oils. That is Callous territory, and that's where Squaw we're running to. Squaw, this team too, I'm very excited about because this is a team that we saw play. A lot of these players come from the Moonlit Battlegrounds training grounds and now playing, trying to get out of the tier 2 into the tier 1, doing their best and even qualifying to make it here into the finals. But right now, LNF, one of our other teams that qualified, facing off against QA. They've already got the immediate pick onto QA, but Duct doing a great job of keeping 2 at bay by himself. But now that Decron's nearby, not going to be so easy for 44 Ducks. Probably got to get out of there. Here's going to be that Nyx looking for the Reap, but the nice Vortex Charm. Can he do it? He finds it, but sniped by Squid.
I mean, 3 versus 44. The numbers were really on his side in the end. How are you going to beat 44 Ducks? They all get spiked at the same time somehow in the end. Park Ninja for Dog finding himself last member left with TLD lurking nearby. So a fight very likely gone south for them against some of the top players across the map. Ban getting picked as well by Squaw.
Tsunade gonna be down. Only I see Protofo, the last one for Band. So they're in a tricky situation. One of our very exciting teams on being one of the few that will not bend to the meta. They will play their hunters only. One of them being that Aluna for Micah Munch, but being down Micah and only having Protofo on their typical Bebo, trying to get into Mana Coils for a team resurrection. It's going to be difficult territory for them to fight their way out of.
And we did see Dog in the picture-in-picture finding that res in the storm. So back at full force here, going to have a little bit of catch-up to do as we roll into day 2. Super important to have your territory already with this day turnover. Find that quick level 9 because very, very quickly at this level, Magical, the creeps on the day turnover are just instantly gone.
Exactly. And so this is where you are looking for any scraps left of any experience, but really the way you're going to gain that is through fighting, because this is already such a narrow circle that they're going to have to fight over an Enshrine of all places. That's where our final destination, we didn't even get to talk about our storm ship for this one. Final destination right there in the desert.
Very, very cool. I'm a big fan of like Final and Cross Country are two of my favorites because they're basically polar opposites. They're really fun to watch because how much they influence endgame. BAP, after getting an objective, looking for engage onto BDE. Face Steel chains in. Big kind of level disparity here, Magical. BDE has not found that 9.
And BDE, I think, are an exciting team as well, because this is one of those teams where we see faces we've seen before in competitive, but now they're fighting back in a new season, and unfortunately there for Stealth Ninja. Go and beat that of LNF, who had the bush strat to find out an easy kingpin pick.
Yeah, so a couple picks kind of getting traded across the map here. Oh, BAP finding a nice collapse onto LNF.
LNF, they're getting sniped out of the air, and where they thought they had the prize because they were able to get that pick onto BDE, unfortunately, it sounded the horde of BAP to get you wiped.
This BAP squad too, once they're on top of you, like the Brawl and the Shiv with the ranged pump coming from the Pine Saros, which hardly ever misses and then throws the anti-heal on you, it's just so hard to get away from, especially if you get kind of collapsed on unsuspecting like we saw there. And so doing their best, but in the end going to be our first squad out in game 1.
No, that's not the Guardian Angel tech that we're going to see from Game Over on Wukong, is it? The pseudo tank.
Wait,
Wukong
was he holding GA? I didn't even know.
I don't think he had the GA yet. I think he was but he only had one relic, and I'm curious to see if he's actually going to pick that one up, because that would be hilarious to actually see. That's something that you had a nice video on your channel talking about, and I want to see if any player, any team tries to adapt with that, because it gives you that pseudo tankiness that a lot of people aren't going to be prepared for.
Yeah, and it's one of these weird things where, you know how like when Wukong goes in the ult, it like hides his health bar. So it's like he ults, you think he iframes, you think he's 1 HP, but then he just hops off the top of his pole at full health. And you're like, what the heck? He does have the GA, bro. Game over. Let's go.
He did. Oh, he did have it. Okay, I didn't actually see. I knew he had a relic, but I thought it wasn't that one. I thought he had I'm trying to think of the name of it. I can't. My brain is not.
It's hard. Sometimes it's
now.
hard to see the pictures too from the spectator POV.
Oh, Protofo put down the B-bomb, but was that a bait? Because I think they already had brought back their team, didn't they? Out in Mana Coils. Nice anomaly, jumping over such a grand boulder there, and there is Ban. I thought that they had already gotten their revive off.
Yeah, and this is like an exceptionally rough part of the map for Final Destination because everyone already knows they're moving here, and there's such a limited amount of creeps to play for. So we're in day 3 here. Look how many like sub-level 9s there are. Ban level 8,
Bro,
Dog level 8.
There's no team eliminated yet. LNF was the only team. Yeah, LNF is the only team. But the thing is, it's like, that's only one team, and we are already into day 3. With these circles getting so much more crowded so quickly, this is what I've been saying. It's like, it has actually been quite crazy. You see, there are so many players already grouped into desert around Enshrine. And I see TLD, BAP, same with Ban nearby. About the sandwich, poor Game Over. Forced to 6 monkey strike to try to get out defensively. But now he is going to be an easy target. TLD, they were down south. Do they find the monkey? But BAP, they wanted to find the play on to maybe Ban, seeing Cow attempting to take an Abyssal Hatchling.
That like high wide free cam view gives us a real sense of kind of the spacing these teams are playing with. BAP still looking for the engage. Dagger back though. 4 spades on the Shiv. A little bit of a reset with this nuke coming out. So some space to breathe. Still fighting over the hatchling here.
Yeah, Songbow is what they're looking for. Which team wants to get it more? Seems that Cow a little bit more willing to stand up strong against it, but they actually are going to relent, not even trying to get the hatchling. Just going to get out of there. Don't want to get sandwiched. Again, there's so many teams still left. Unfortunately for game over, did eventually get found out.
Yeah, and like once you're kind of on the back foot in a lobby like this, especially as the circle closing, if there's not a ton of squads limbed already, it's actually so far like hard to find any kind of space to pull off a res, or like even if you do res, like we were talking about, there's just no creeps on the map, right? Like still these guys level 9, these guys level 10, like 11 is the cap right now, about to be 13 as we roll into day 4 here. So like very kind of tighter pacing for the experience side of things when you're playing into zones that have a limited amount of camps.
This is such a crazy circle still. Just seeing how many teams are still remaining in the desert.
It's looking like EU out here, bro.
It really is, and that's what we were hyping up too, that NA, there are so many teams at the top, and unfortunately for Dog Heat, Dog World ban, take out Park Ninja, but we still see that 2 of their players remain, but they are far separated from one another, and I don't know if Dog are going to find a good position to battle back into this one.
Yeah, and those little picks actually are so valuable just for the experience right here, because still like everyone kind of so behind the curve. Whoever is claiming all the camps is going to be very much kind of ahead in overall power level. And if you every little pick you can find is another little boost in XP to try to catch up.
And with the desert, there's not that many camps to begin with. It's like, if you lose out on that experience, you are losing out. Like Jemmy, poor Jemmy, only level 7, an easy target chased down by Jan. But right behind them, they have to deal with matches, trying to fuse the lot, but it's going to be Squaw instead, taking the attention away. Jan, having gotten themselves that kill, they can now try to third party, because we have third, fourth parties going on right now as Cow were able to get Protophobe by themselves. But Micah, always Micah, the savior of ban, grabbing Protophobe's wisp, bring him back to Tsunami.
The first of many Hypaluna plays coming in from Micah, a huge kind of part of the ban strategy. Big damage onto HYD. Jan versus HYD. This is the top of our last lobby on Quals.
Yeah, HYD, they were able to prove themselves in the second lobby, but they struggled in that first lobby. Remember, they played those first 4 games, and that's why they had to play 4 more to make sure they were a part of Turbo Cup. And now they are struggling, but looking at teams that are struggling right now is about to be banned, because they're getting sandwiched between 2 teams. Immediately get popped.
Dude.
Micah and Tsunami gone. Only Protophobe. It seems that Protophobe always gets out, but it's going to be matches found out by TLD on the other side. While Jan try to flank onto Cow, but Cow already kiting backwards, trying to stay away from Jan, not giving him that angle. Waiting for Despy to get their pull. They try to get the Vortex Charm. Not going to connect that onto Dylan. But Cow going back to the ledge they had before. And Dog getting eliminated off screen while there's still more fighting. I saw TLD. They found a revived ban and Protophobe trying to escort them out of Coldfang. But now he is going to be the target. Putting down the nuke. Trying to talk them back into the nuke. But unfortunately missing the targets instead. Just saving the team.
Proto going crazy right there. He was the last member out. There was so much damage coming from Squaw on the south side of that fight with Goroy pumping. Somehow Proto makes it out, finds a res, then wipes a squad, and then they survive the TLD engage afterward. Even though this is a 3-level kind of gap here, you see Ban not really wanting this fair fight. QA wiped at the same time we see in the kill feed. So very quickly, Magical down to 7.
Encore finding that kill, so QA gone, and now Band, they've been struggling throughout this game 1 of the Turbo Cup, and TLD are looking to see if they can claim more kills for themselves, but Protophobe never gonna make it easy, crashing on their position, sniping that kill with a baseball bat, whack onto 2, Protophobe's Bebo must be feared. Everyone, look at this player, look at him, because he is menacingly standing strong.
Dude, and Lemur with the Spidey sense here knows that ledge is not free. Pops the recall in the bush on the E-plat. Miracle res. Beautiful macro from Lemur to keep TLD in it. Holy.
But man, Protophobe playing out of his mind.
That sequence was insane. That whole last minute from Protophobe just went crazy.
And this is the power when you put so much practice into one hunter.
100%.
Protophobe's Bebo, absolutely menacing. So few players can even hold a candle to how well he plays Bebo.
Yeah, and it's just like he not only plays it a ton, he just loves it. He's built for this hunter. Big engage from BAP. Nice damage on the TLD.
TLD though, All right, kiting back the best they can, but BAP put down an E-plat. They've got Pine with the portals. Does he double it up to try to chase them any further? Waiting for Spade, will double it up. Tries to get some damage. First goes Spade, but back they go. While LC waiting on the ledge, looking for the dunk onto Lodge, but TLD have gotten their angle onto LC, trying to heal back up. Phenom couldn't do so. Instead, it's going to be LC stomping the Wisp, while TLD trying to get a little bit of damage. Lodge doing his best, having a little bit of help, because BAP helping to take damage onto LC. Then we see another team, Jan, trying to come in from the desert, but BAP more focused on a TLD. Rather see if they can get the kill, to get the wipe on a TLD. They want to win this one. They want to be the true new main characters of SUPERVIVE.
Yeah, and it looks like Jan did get a Wisp Stomp 2-proc crown. Nice trade on the TLD. TLD kind of getting picked by multiple squads here. Gonna get this Wisp recovery, it looks like, with Squaw on the left. Jan does not want to overcommit to this, neither does TLD. BAP re-showing up. Magical, this height, double exotic perk, Songbow Brawl. I'm scared.
Oh. And I'm scared right now of Cow, who come out of left field and absolutely annihilate Squaw, taking them out, then turning their attention onto TLD. Lodge is already gone. It's only Lemurs again, but BAP, they too will intervene, trying to chase down but Cow, they're more focused on the Lemur, because if they can get rid of TLD, that's a big target gone, and they have a better standing of getting not just the top spot, but in the top 3, but on to the respawn beacon. TLD once more will be resurrected back onto their feet, have to fight their way out of it, but it's going to be Protofo grabbing on to Band, getting him out of the fight. All this time, TLD haven't been able to get the respawn beacon, a little bit too much damage, and now Cow, they've got on a Lemur. He's got a broken shield. TLD out at 6th place.
I'm pretty sure Diamond little cooked that he did something to cancel that res. It took the timer away from Lemur. It was about to proc.
It was Little Cook.
But I'm wondering, did Lemur step off for a sec? Because I didn't think like it gave Prio over the res already happening.
He did step off too. So
that
not only
is a
did he step
crazy
off,
play by Diamond, bro.
It was like I don't even think he purposely stepped up. I'm pretty sure he got blasted off the position, so he couldn't stay on the res. Tried to get back, but already the Little Cook was there. But for Cow's sake, they are now finding themselves the true sandwich, the beef in this sandwich, and they're trying not to beef with anybody. They got out of dodge, waiting for a crown to proc for Misfits in a twister, but it is not going to be too good for LC unless they can get that res immediately, because with 4 other teams and a lot of fighting happening, they're all grouped up and ready to look for that singular pick. It's already going to be Misfits attacked by Jan. They've gotten him easily, and now BAP have to fight against Jan because they wanted that crown themselves just to snatch that away. But instead, Jan hiding backwards, staying away, putting down a nuke to make sure they have an escape route.
Yeah, and Jan doing a great job kind of making it into the Final Four here, setting themselves up for a very nice potential look in the tournament. Fuselot out from Spades does get canceled by the stun coming in from the Dictator on the Brawl. A little bit of separation with time to reset here. But I like this Final Four, Magical, like TLD and LC already out.
TLD, LC, but we have Cow and BAP, 2 teams we were already hyping up before. Band being another one, always so fun to watch, and somehow, even though so many times Protofo has had to save the team, they are now in the top 4, but Tsunami in the middle of everyone. Another team, Jan, a team that narrowly was able to make it into the Turbo Cup. They got knocked out in the first qualifiers, had to play an additional 4. That's when they started to show up, and it feels like they've ridden that momentum from those games here into the Turbo Cup.
Yeah, and they're like, basically, you need that confidence to stack up with these teams. They got Proto has the crown, and it's Proto. Is he gonna get it?
He's got the crown, but how long will it take? He's taking out no crown as Jan trying to escape the danger zone. They got sandwiched by Cow and BAP. It's only Despy alive, the sub player for Jan. Chains have connected on him over the abyss, trying to go for his own slam, and Height says, hell no. BAP are looking for another win. They won 5 camp. They won season 1, and they're looking to take game 1 of the Turbo Cup.
Dude, it is such a close fight. Like, all of a sudden between these 2 teams, only beautiful engage from Height into the ult, puts Diamond into Wisp. It's just going to be Dylan left trying to fight it off, but cannot stop the unstoppable force of BAP. Beautiful finish there in that Final Four.
I was talking about Jan having the momentum beforehand, but it feels like BAP. They've ridden 5 camp momentum from season 1 straight into season 2.
I mean, BAP just looked completely unbeatable. Like, have plot armor every single time. A ridiculous Final Four to close out this map. I mean, Ban and BAP and just duking it out the whole way long. Kind of heartbreaking that Protofo couldn't keep it alive at the very end, but Man, Logic, Magical actually, talk to me about that ending there.
I mean, the big thing for me is, even though Protofo does get eliminated, congrats to them for ratting for so long and then finding these amazing outplays as Bebo to make sure they're not just ratting, but they actually are fighting their way through every team to get into that top 3 position in the first place.
Yeah, and while we have a moment, we'll get to the hype at the end, but the game was a long game, it was drawn out, no one died for a long time, but I know, Logic, some of the itemization caught your eye. Talk to me through that.
Yeah, some of the things about the itemization that's changed is we're seeing so many more Sunweavers, and it was like a pretty good item before, but I think that after Thunderbolt kind of got nerfed, people are realizing that Sunweaver's really good. And if you can do, 3 abilities or more, or maybe a combo of a shift, you're adding an extra 300 damage onto anything, and just getting that extra damage I think is huge. And then Paladin's Primer, that I think was just not seen before, but so many teams are now starting to value an anti-heal cleanse, a speed boost, that tankiness, and I just love seeing the changes to the itemization.
I think like what's really interesting is with the patch that literally just happened with Nyx getting introduced. Not only is there a new kind of hunter in the mix, but you mentioned like kind of a big slew of changes to items. Like that really does a significant amount to start to mix up the meta, and along with changes to the exotics we saw the patch before, and now changes like with these early soul bosses giving perma game buffs, like a little more prio around those. And I wonder how much of that is affecting like more teams kind of lasting into deeper circles. This was so close, man.
Yeah, I mean, Magical, this final fight here is crazy. Protofo can't stay alive with the crown, but talk me through the rest.
The thing is, Protofo might not be able to survive, but he does a damn good job of making it close and forcing Jan. Jan were actually in a fairly decent position until the double tonk dragged them into the storm, did all that damage, and that completely put the wind out of the sails for Jan and made it so that they weren't able to find maybe a fight that could have gotten them at first place against BAP and against Cal.
I want you to be honest with me, Zik. Is this just going to be a BAP domination day again? Like, is this just the new normal?
I honestly don't think so, bro. Like, I think they're goated. I think they're insanely good. But the kind of skill disparity of the lobby is like closer than it's probably ever been in NA. Maybe ever. Like, maybe even back in the squads world. Because even in the squads world, there was a couple teams that were really dominant. Now, we really see the opportunity for teams to contest. And, if you remember, Ender, last weekend, we kind of saw a similar story where BAP is so strong on their main 3 hunters. Once we hit that ban phase halfway through, they do start to slow down a little bit because they're still good on other hunters, but it's not quite that same kind of, it's not the hunters they practice like 100% of the time like they do with their main comp. Yeah. And, they're still going to be effective, but I think that's other teams' chance to kind of close the gap.
I think even yesterday, we kind of saw some weakness in BAP, that they do struggle in some games dependent on the meta and dependent on where the storm shifts will take us. Like right there, they knew where everything was going. They could plan a little bit more. They know, like that's something that they're so good at with those macro, with the mind games too, for their macro to get them in those positions to take early leads.
Yeah, well, it is time to get into the second game. This time, I'm going to hand it over to Logic and Zik for the cast.
Let's go, baby. Logic, pleasure to join you again. Always a great time with you on the mic, bro. Let's get it.
Absolutely. I am pumped. I got to watch the action. Now I get to talk about it and people can hear me this time. I don't know if that's good or bad yet. Man, I was yelling at the wall. Man. I was like, yes, let's go.
I feel that so hard, bro. The amount of times I'm just screaming to myself while I'm watching sports or esports is... maybe that's why I've decided to get into casting. It's an outlet for my emotion.
People don't understand, it's always our team did this, our team did that. Well, now you have to listen to us talk about our teams, all right? We have 12 of them right now. We're not biased to any of them, but we do see Cal and TLD dropping beside each other. Interesting, just because TLD just went out at 6th place. So to show that confidence to drop near a team, impressive, and I love the confidence that apparently they just don't lose.
Yeah, and meanwhile, BAP just rides by him on the Sky Sharks. Like, definitely going to be BAP at first to the golds, it looks like. I don't know if that was the play from TLD or Cal. Fight breaking out here, though, between... Dude, can I just ask, how biased are you for LNF here?
I'm actually completely unbiased, only while casting.
Okay.
The moment we get off, oh my gosh, LMF, what? No, but... I've been doing this a while now. I had to learn it in Smash. Your training partners casting. But shout out to Pink Fresh. But I'm like, look, when you're on the screen, both of you guys are equals. All right,
I love it.
That is how it is.
Does their strat change from the DLV strat? Because I just know you're such an aggressive player. you love to not back down. Do you think that's shifted at all without you like not in the mix?
It definitely has shifted, but that was actually one of my things that I did tell them was just we all shared the shot calling, but I see a lot of openings, and if I see you out of position, I'm killing you. Look, if I mess up and I lose, that's on me for execution, but I like seeing them be like kind of push the envelope right there. They didn't run away. They saw an opening. They took it. And that's one thing that I do want to see them do. Because if you look at a team like BAP, if you sneeze in the wrong direction, they just blow you up for it. So
100%, bro. Like they are watching like freaking eagle eyes for any tiny mistake. If they see one wasted dash, they're all just going to collapse on you. And I think like, you know, that's part experience, but it's part confidence too. So what you're talking about, ooh, nice pull off the Sky Shark. Wait, gets back on. Oh no.
Is he going to make it? Not to the left. Oh. Okay. He made it work for it though, you know?
The laser finds the kill in the end, almost able to wiggle their way out on the Sky Shark here. It looks like two more gonna snatch the Sky Shark out on the way. LC maybe playing for a train res, or it's Band playing for a train res, or no one's playing for a train res. Everyone's just fighting.
It's just a ride, okay? Sometimes you got to get on the Amtrak. They paid their dues. But mid-air right now, Misfit going to overheat, though, and going to go down, just gifting points away with Protofo finding that snipe.
Dude, beautiful bomb snipe with the Micah autos. Just, I think, really not suspecting that amount of damage to cause the spike. We do see in the picture-in-picture LC on the heart res. Toilet looking like he's very much going to get that through. Micah wants to do something about it. No air blast in hand yet, so he would have blasted Misfit right there, but not day two.
The Micah special right there.
The Micah special.
All right, Squall up here just shooting around. Nothing too crazy happening right now, but in that northeast corridor, there's just abundance of teams chilling there. I don't know what's about to occur, but I don't want to be there when it happens.
Well, we do watching it because it's about to be some carnage very likely. It does look like LC got their res off. Ban recovered as well. And I think like eyes on again, like tempo. I feel like with more teams kind of lasting deeper into the game and with some of the changes over the recent patches to circle size and stuff, like I really think the beautiful kill there. Ult's online now for TLD.
Ooh. Yeah, wow. That was just complete disruption right there. Lodge just finding the straight up 1v1 right there. And then his team eventually saying, maybe we should join afterwards, pick up 2 clean points after coming out of the storm. Really impressive stuff.
Lod's been such a good pickup for them. Big root brings him off the top of the pole. Game over, trying to find his way out. Last member left for BDE again. Ban do not want to let it happen. Tsunami over the top with the slam. Game over is eliminated as our 12th squad here. Pretty not too early on. Like it's honestly not as early as we normally see in NA still for the first kind of squad going out.
Yeah, and I hope on the replay we see how Micah just completely broke his ankles because Wukong's coming down, 0 dashes used, and Micah avoid this the stun. I don't know how that was possible, but he got it done.
Something I've noticed Micah doing is like he's very good at like playing up in your grill, and he's like that makes it easier for him to hit his autos, easier for him to hit his root, and like easier for him to like sidestep a lot of the times. And we kind of saw it right there. Like what I've always noticed is like one of Wukong's weaknesses is the fact that the sweet spot on his staff is kind of extended out. So if you can kind of face check him like that, like it does make it a lot easier to kind of avoid that big like R&B connection.
Yeah, we come from League. We don't face check anything anymore, okay? We don't have too many time for it.
We'll see if there's any face checking this game in the bushes. We always see a little bit.
Potential fight gonna break out here. A lot of noise being made though by LNF, so Dog clearly aware that they're there. Squad making some noise as well. I wonder who's gonna take this Abyss hatchling. No challenge really, as Squid was a hair too late on it.
Yeah, LNF showing up looking, but Squaw already have it in hand. Looking to trade a bit of poke. Really nice poke comp from Squaw. The mortars from the Mercury combined with Goroy very hardly missing on the Saros. Ooh, nice spike. Follow up from LNF. They are going to isolate Dylan, get that nice pick.
Well played right there. And you were just talking about the pokes. The pokes are great, but you have to, refill that ammo at one point. Mercury gets those 2 long-range shots and then has to kind of chill for a bit.
True.
Mercury found that opening. But speaking of opening, DTF finding an opening of his own. Beautiful fuselage right there to get 1 point for his team. But I don't know how DTF's going to get out of this one. You're in the storm, TLD looking at you. I mean, split seems like the right answer right there because one of you are definitely going to go down.
Yeah, and LNF might be their saving grace here, distracting TLD as they do go for the split. We see Rez in the picture-in-picture for Jan. Nice recovery here. Our third-place squad from last game doing a nice job to kind of, claw up early in the standings here after, going through to qualifiers 2 or B yesterday and then end up, qualifying in second there. But nice performance from them so far.
Definitely is, and this could get dicey, but Tetra doesn't miss that slam, which could be huge. And right now, Cal, they're doing the fight, but Protofo just explodes right there. Maybe they bit off a bit more than they can chew at the moment as they leave, which is ironically enough, because cowards the animals. But that's a story for another day.
Dude, Cal's been looking strong, though, man. Like, the fact that they go first place points in the qualifier lobby, the first lobby yesterday against BAP, against TLD, and then, like, I saw multiple plays by Diamond, the Myth edition. It's because it's basically 10 without TN. And Diamond on the Myth kind of taking the place of that normal Bishop we would see with the likes of 10. And multiple plays yesterday, Diamond finding these downtown clutch snipes. And we saw just in the last game, Diamond making an insane, like, little cook push play on Lemur's Oath to get him off the res and eliminate TLD. So definitely, like, a player to be keeping an eye on here.
100%. Does that mean that 10 has been holding them back this entire time? They just want to be a cow, and 10 said we can only be a number, and now look at us.
Dude, the philosophy there is too deep for discussion here. We don't have enough time. As LC looking at the likes of Cow. Oh, Dictator, nice peel there, but the second wind is out. They are going to be able to get... Dude, the name changes drive me crazy. That's RTK, all the symbols.
We're changing that in the future. Speaking of things that want to change, Jen trying to get away, does manage to do it. And Ban just picking up another 2 kills, only 1 kill because I do not see the last person alive animation around him, if I'm not mistaken. Really well played.
City, speaking of last people alive, last member left for HYD, peeling out on that Zeph. I think HYD, like, they definitely found a bit of confidence in the qualifiers, the second qualifier lobby. Hopefully are going to be able to kind of ride that into this group. They're definitely going to need it because we've been talking about kind of just the skill level of all the players out here. We see right there, Diamond pushing off height. Oh my God.
It hurts. It hurts, Zick. It hurts.
Dude, and he's not going to be able to escape, but he did have some nice space from the brawl until Pine showed up with that Viridius Fury. Like, actually, multiple last members left. QA on Bush as well, just looking for a res goal.
And super quick update, it's actually Encore, not RTK, and this is why we're banning different languages
and this is why
and characters. We want clarity in these events, okay? We fought for this to get clarity with everything else. Don't mess us up with the names.
So it is on-court subbing. So it's actually a much different look. It's not really 10 at all then. It's basically just Dylan from 10, and then it's on-court and Diamond for today. So almost like a whole new squad in play here. I was thinking it was 2 of the 3. It's actually just going to be Dylan with that sub. So yeah, Cow, like, really impressing for kind of just coming together yesterday, as far as I know.
Yeah, sometimes you just feel good about it, and Make a Munch looking there, not able to find anything meaningful. I would have loved to have seen, one of those beautiful R&Bs right there to hit. And, eliminated. Hydra is gone.
Dude, BAP is just so decisive with this comp, bro. If they, like you mentioned earlier, if you make one mistake, if you're down a dash and they find you, you're just cooked, man. Like, it's so hard to escape them. And even if you do play it well, if you don't have your team around you, if you're kind of isolated, it's just, like, so hard to stop the brawl and the shiv from collapsing on you and then peel with any kind of anti-heal from the Zaros. Big fight over here, though. It's Ban versus LNF. Nice trade. Oh, almost able to trade the shiv. She is going to get out. Dekron super low, trying to just peel on the shiv himself, fighting off Tsunami. Bungie connects. Can he find another target to pull Dekron back? Dekron knows it, is trying to escape, but Protofo finds the knock.
Yeah, unfortunately for LNF, Verky did manage to escape. Protofo coming back right there. And Legend, you are low, but there's no video yet, but that is Kane. Are you going to go through the wall? No, because you're going to get slammed instead right into the waiting arms of the rest of the team. I couldn't see who picked it up, but well played by Jan right there. The bat smells blood. We just talked about this. You sneeze, you cough, you do anything. They're just trying to eat their own food, and Bat says, no, 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 you're our prey now. They are not able to get anything huge, though. Gotta imagine one player's gonna go down for Jen, but the other two are gonna get out safely and go for res later. You can fuselage, you can try to dash, but there's no way you're escaping this. And Protofo might be looking to maybe force some people into his Uber. I don't know, Zik. What do you think?
Forced into the Uber. That's a sort of scary visual, but it's an accurate description. It is
check the license plate.
Unconsenting abduction of the vehicular kind when you're working with the Bebo. So very scary in either situation. Nuke out. It looks like TLD and LC fighting over this cold fan control. They are going to kind of peel split ways here. Jan do find that res after Miri going down, so it ends up working out for them. Squaw, 2 players on the bush plate just south, wanting to not get seen.
Trying to get away right now, going to be so rough. Jet Ski is just definitely, following his name, if you will.
He zooms, bro.
Yeah. Just look, zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, I love that right there, the air blast.
Yeah, nice air blast.
It's not going to save your life, but it was cute. It was cute before you went down.
Jetski, one of these guys that's so cracked at movement on the Brawl. We see it all the time. Extremely good at the kind of schmoove tech with that Hunter. It looks like Ban and LC kind of posturing now over this gap. Double jump pad out, trying to find an angle out. Don't want to be pinched by Ban into another team. Bap hiding on bush. Terrifying right here. LC actually up levels a little bit, though.
Which, nice small advantage.
Ooh.
I love that. Normally you
Beautiful.
shoot the bush. They said we're putting an entire ward in there. Well played by them.
Yeah, and this is like, you see it more and more as these players continue to get better. They have this, very much like kind of spidey sense awareness of the map where they are very hesitant to, like we were mentioning earlier, face check bushes, which we used to see all the time, but players getting much, much better at being much more tactical about. Beautiful grab coming in from Jan. Can Despy find it? They do. Dylan is down, but the concoction is rezzing. Are they able to cancel here? Miri does not actually step on that wisp, so Dylan's going to come up. Maybe this Shiv survives here. Anti-heal is on, just dashing their heart out. DTF does go down.
It was a bunch of cartwheels before it ended, though. And Protofo, what a bully!
Just
Look,
a baseball bat bully.
The next time you're late for class, just tell them Protofo would not let you in, all right? It wasn't your fault.
And then he abducted you in his Uber, and you don't know where you're at. You're in the storm, you can't see. All right, it looks like TLD trying to find some vengeance against the vehicular manslaughter character here. They are going to get it. So Ban down a member for now. Jan also missing Jang here, so a couple teams going to be looking for that res.
Yeah. And a team eliminated. I was just about to talk about how many teams we had left. It was 7. We're now at 6. And we're not going to be able to talk about this now. I imagine too much action. But I just want to point out, Season 2 has happened. All of your games are with 8 teams now, unless you're in the tournament. So I wonder how that's affecting things and just kind of what you're playing when you're doing ranked and you're normal for fun games versus a tournament environment, because some of these newer teams, look, they may not have quite as much experience as just playing these hardcore scrims. Yeah.
It's a great call out because, it's basically like at this point, these teams that have a bunch of experience scrimming with 12 teams in the lobby, like, are going to have a bit of that hand up. And the unfortunate thing is it's always been hard to practice as a team in ranked because of the ranked restrictions, right? So it doesn't, like, very much competitive players can't really practice in ranked anyways because they can't queue together because their ranks are too high. So it's almost, even without the team kind of changes, it's basically scrims is where you're going to get your real practice. And this logic, playing scrims versus ranked, even with 12 teams in both lobbies, are very different experiences.
Wait, do they know? Do they know? Oh, Verky has been found! Sorry, Verky, you're running, but I don't think you're long for this world. Jetski's there, Lemur's there, and not TLT. LMF is not. Valiant Effort goes down at 5th. Verky hit as long as he could, but look, hide and go seek only lasts so long.
Brodo's doing it now too, though. He's lasting a little bit longer, just right there, sneaking by. It's such a good tree spot. Looks like a perfect bundle of trees. Why would there be an extra tree there? TLD looking for the engage on LC. Kind of have him pinched in the corner. It is Abyssal Scale throwing out the creep with the stun. It's going to isolate Misfit, trading the Fusillade. Big damage onto Phenom. Can he recover here? He peels. Big snipe traded by Lods. They're going to get Misfit down. Oh no, LC's going right into the arms of Ban. It's the waiting arms of Encore. Going to find Toilet. LC down to just one.
LC, what are you going to do, Jet Ski? You have a Thunderbolt, you have a Sunweaver, but you do not have a crown, no way to heal. Good luck, but apparently gets out. TLD not looking over there. And is alive. And right now, Bab is completely unaware that those sound effects north of him were Jet Ski. They're thinking, oh, they just took a portal out. There's nothing else to see here. Man, very, very fortunate for Jet Ski.
Yeah, and Jetski, like, very good at kind of tactical juking, as I was mentioning earlier. Nuke out to try to isolate or try to force BAP up through this choke point. Maybe be able to pinch them here with Ban. It's looking pretty good. Height peeling back to his team. The rest of BAP not committing, actually waiting for that nuke to time out instead of moving up, knowing their brawl can survive. He is going to make his way out. Nice recovery from BAP.
Yeah, and okay, I thought maybe there was a shop there, but gonna hide behind those walls, and there is no hiding right here. BAP and TLD duking it out.
Whoa.
Oh no, Brawl goes through the portal through the other side, but all the teams are apparently just right next to each other again, healing up nicely, but getting poked down. Spades,
dude,
looking for an engage attempt.
Pine just
And
chunking
found it.
Abyssal Breaker out. Big kind of zoning tool from Lemur. Phenom trying to trade the Wisp. It's going 1 for 1, but Height puts Phenom into a box. Spades is still a Wisp. If they can kill Height here, it's going to be worth it for TLD, but Pine is on the south trying to chip away with that Soros. Can Lemur force him into the arms of Ban? He does. Pine is down. Beautiful plays from TLD. Can they keep it going? They have to finish this final brawl above them, but they also have to fend off the full force of Ban. Beautiful portal from Lods, trying to find some space. Micah looks, has to go back. TLD, beautiful sequence there.
What are we witnessing right now? Height somehow surviving, staying alive at the top. TLD still alive at the moment. 4 teams, but no deaths in that scenario? Like, how did no one get eliminated?
Oh,
okay.
You did
I'm sorry.
beautiful.
My apologies.
Yeah, like the caster curse in action, right as it said. Height getting caught by Ban, instantly down to 3 here. And it's LC numbers disadvantage. They do need to find this res. We see him just chilling in bush behind that wall. So Ban and TLD very much know where each other are at. They probably, oh, they did get the res off. They're still opting for the bush play.
And super small call out. Good job on Micah Mudge using that ultimate to heal Protofo. A lot of times the Luna is only used to revive a Wisp. But right now you got to bring your teammate up to full HP, and hopefully you're going to have it back in case someone falls later.
Absolutely. It looks like the fight is breaking out. TLD looking for the engage onto Ban to counter. Proto does the abduction. Can he keep him in the storm? Barely. Not able to bat him in. Phenom trading like crazy. Yeah, going to grab the Wisp. Micah grabs it first, so doesn't get the unstoppable and then gets eliminated by the LC third party. Beautiful engage from Misfit. Fusillade out connecting. Now it's Jetski and Toilet on the brawl, and Zeph trying to finish off the likes of Ban. They're chipped out. They're trying to finish off TLD same time. They somehow get that res without proccing the crown. Now all of a sudden it's LC on the back foot. They get Jetski down. Now LC has 2 members, BAP and TLD at full force. What is happening, Logic?
Everything is happening and nothing is happening at the same damn time. Wow. Ban right now sitting at the top. They have that res beacon behind them, so beautiful positioning. 1 member of Ban does go down, but you're on the res beacon. You have a bomb, but a bomb's not going to save you today. TLD is indeed trying to shut the door on Ban, but the kidnap. Oh my god, did Protofo just win it for his team?
Bomb. Oh. Dude, what a crazy fight. I don't know. I just got to say, TLD played that like final 4 so freaking tactically well. The fact that they were getting pinched by both BAP and Ban, get through the wall, and then somehow find the res and are able to recover, find the victory in the end, just really showing the experience those guys have.
Yeah, I mean, that fight when they're stuck up in the corner in the top left of the circle and have to get the portal, absolutely wild stuff. And it will be TLD taking game number 2. Of course, BAP still get a top 4 finish, but go down in 4th. Should keep things a little bit more equal, all things considered. But Magical, now that you're back on the desk, talk to me about the early game, because it looks like Cow dropped out really early.
very early. 8th place for them, unfortunately. And another team I was surprised to see get eliminated so early, BDE. They are struggling today. Yesterday, they looked a lot better. They looked like they were fully in action. They're in control. Not only just getting in the top 6, but actually winning one of our lobbies yesterday in qualifiers against teams like TLD, like BAP. But today they are struggling. And then another team that struggled, which surprised me, is Cow. They were looking really clean in game 1, getting 2nd place. But here, they just had awkward fights against a couple of teams out at 8th place. And for this kind of team that is built with some new parts, it has Dylan on court with the team alongside that of Diamond, who, Diamond, if you don't know, I'm always hyped to watch this guy play. Such a good player, and I want to see him in more comp like this because they have the mechanics. So seeing them out at 8th place is unfortunate for them because this is a team that I thought, just like 10, that they would pretty much take that 3rd spot that 10 had before and be able to get that for themselves. But now it is going to be a lot tougher now that you have TLD winning this game. Ban getting 2nd place and looking pretty good in a lot of these fights as well.
Yeah, and while you're talking about the list of those teams, I'm just thinking about Ban. It's only been 2 games, but Ban by far has the most unique team comp. You have a Bebo, you have an Aluna, and you have a Tetra. Tetra's a little more popular, but just such a unique comp. They're also mobile. They're also skilled at this game. And just some of the things they pulled off have just been a beauty to watch. And part of me wants to root for the underdog right now and say that, you know what? Maybe Ban will take it all the way and just shut all of us up.
Dude, I'm like so on the band train, bro. They're just so fun to watch, and it's like the fact that
are we all on the band train here? Is every one of us?
I'm here, bro.
We're all hopped on into the Uber. We're all ready to go party.
We're all in Proto's Uber.
I feel like I'm legally obligated to say I'm not on the train anymore to like even this out, and I want to be on the train. This is so sad.
It's your
Look,
only
we got an
arena,
Uber
bro.
XL.
You have to be on the train.
It's an XL. You could fit. We're all good.
Okay, fair. I mean, look, the train's looking pretty good for them. Even though Ban haven't won a game just yet, we are only playing 6 games today. We've already taken down. They've top 4'd both of the matches, and after this one, there are going to be the bans coming in, like you mentioned. Now, Zick, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Vive Camp last week, wasn't it Ban the team that changed their comp to like try and metagame like which hunter bans would come through at the end? And
it actually paid off clutch for them because it was in game 3 that Proto switched, or it was actually an 8-game set, so it would have been in game 4. Proto played 1 game of Tetra instead of Bebo, and that was the difference in Tetra having 1 more played than Bebo and her getting banned so he could play Bebo for the back half of the tournament. So that's like a great call out. And we actually saw that kind of macro strategy from HYD as well. It was the opposite. It was Pensato, who's the Tetra main, playing Bebo to try to get Bebo banned. And so we have this ban metagaming happening between squads. We're very likely going to see it again a bit here.
I don't know. I haven't seen any other Bebos being played. I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
I've been seeing one Bebo, and I've been loving it though. Go ahead, Logic. You want to get in?
I was gonna say there's been like 2 Bebos maybe on the entire server, so I don't know how you can get a Bebo banned, but
fair play.
It would be a fun feat.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna be hitting that just yet, but I do believe Game 3 is gonna be getting underway shortly here. Again, after this, we will have the hunter bans coming on in. We'll take a little break to sort it out and update the leaderboard and everything like that. But we've got one more game before that actually ends up happening. Reminder again for anyone: top 3 is what you need to be hitting in order to hit the cash money prize pool. First place is going to be walking out of here with $1,350. So a lot riding on this next match leading up to the bans coming in. And to take us into match number 3, I'm going to leave things here to Logic and Magical.
Thank you so much. And I am hyped. It is unstable portals for our 3rd game, our last one before bans get introduced. And I have a feeling it is not going to be at all the same that we saw in EU, where it was a lot of Oath, a lot of Kingpin, Ghost as well. Here it feels like there is a little bit more, I got to say, just hunter diversity between these teams. A lot of teams playing their own style, playing their own strategy, but I also wonder if it is something that they are metagaming a bit. I know Dylan here for Cal, very good Oath player, maybe playing that a little bit less, so that way in the back half, the ladder 3, they can play their Hunter.
It's definitely very possible. I just thought we were trying to follow the American tradition, you know? We're supposed to be a diverse country, and they're like, so we're choosing diverse hunters. But
where's Huddy then?
knows?
Where's Huddy then? Huh?
We said diverse and, you know, people that contribute to our community. Hudson does not, okay? Hudson, we don't support Hudson, but all the rest of the hunters, we love them.
I feel attacked here.
It's I am attacking Hudson. I've died way too many times, okay? Great hunter. Took me like a year to figure out how to fight.
I mean, it's easy to fight a Hudson. You just get behind him and don't let him shoot you. That's about it. As a Hudson player, that is the complexity that Hunter has. And now looking at some complex fights as Stealth Ninja with a good dash over the wall is able to escape the clutches of TLD. But BDE continuing to struggle in these first half of games as they drop the mana coils alongside a couple other teams, QA, Cow, TLD, and unfortunately already down their Monkey King, fighting for the Bissell Hatchling, but they already have to bail, as right now it is Cow. These are Predator cows. They are eating teams alive. Finding another pick on a Stealth Ninja, but now having to fight against TLD over Bissell Hatchling. That is down to 25% health. Encore trying to help out Dylan so they can lead the charge, as now, with only a couple more hits, it goes over to Cow. They hit level 6s and TLD. They got a bail out of this one. They're behind the curve suddenly. They had the advantages until they lost that Abyssal Hatchling, putting down a Nova Orb, trying to get some damage. TLD not relenting with Oblivion Spin. Dylan taken down. TLD even down levels, still beating Cow.
Yeah, great stuff right there. And, you know, it was interesting because Cal, they successfully got it. They got the level advantage, but then they didn't push the advantage. They kind of said, you know what, TLD, let's poke, let's hang out, let's be friends. And TLD said, absolutely not. You just stole my goods. I'm fighting you for it. They managed to only get 1 point, but I love the confidence from TLD right there because 9 out of, 10 teams would have just ran. Say 11 out of 12 this time, but still.
Cow, that's exactly the problem here. Cow, I know you are named after an herbivore, but you cannot play the herbivore style. You have to play it like carnivores. You have to be the team, being the predators, finding these plays, because if you don't, you give up advantage to TLD. They just proved in the last game what they're able to do, taking that win, joining BAP in our victory screen, and now looking at teams as they're moving around the breach logic, seeing how they're quickly having to move down south of west again. Kind of crazy that 3 games in a row we're going down towards the desert, down towards Wellsprings and Mana Coils.
Yeah, down south, the weather's nicer, okay? It's starting to get a little chilly right now, so everyone's going down there, including apparently Cows and LMF. LNF right now had a decent position. Berkey's trying to shoot, does dash in, misses one of those auto attacks though, and that could be huge. But the Zep, the bomb, it does not connect. I love the aggression. Berkey. I love the confidence, but Berkey not able to pass the hands check, gives the other team level 7. I love that Decron and Squid did indeed split up. They both may potentially live.
No, Squid! He barely's got any health left, trying to feather.
It's not water.
Stay away. Get to
Wait, Mike, get it! He got it!
He's got the resets. LNF 1v3 Squid, even though he does take one with him. Unfortunately, they do fall, and it's all up to 1 player left for LNF.
Still well played. You could not really have asked for much more. You have a teammate down. One person gets out and you get the trade kills. Well played right there by Squid. Obviously a lot more comfortable in water, but trying to make it work in the skies this time.
How do you feel about how your substitute is doing with LNF, Squid, the player that is replacing you? So you can join us here on the casting desk, as right now LNF hopped aboard the train. They resurrect the team. So Squid, Berkey, back on their feet, but have to deal with a different team this time around. LC, they have been playing very aggressively yesterday, looking really good. Even last week for Vive Camp, looking really strong.
Yeah, definitely. And to answer your question, I would say I was more of a future replacement for Squid, because I let him know. I said, look, I'm a caster first. But I'd say that I'm liking the progression. I'm liking that they took that fight. Maybe they didn't win it, but that was an execution thing. It wasn't, a poor decision. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, just, pass the hands check. And I think they're in a much better position.
Well, we'll see. They at least made it into Turbo Cup after all. So gotta have some hands in order to do so. So it's seeing how they're gonna stand up with the rest of the competition and looking at the rest of the competition where teams are. BDE having struggled in the early game. They've at least been able to survive for a bit, but they're only at those 6s. Well, TLD, they're at the opposite. If you flip that upside down, we got 9s here for TLD. They're looking like they want to chase more teams. LNF tried to get back into mana coils, but quickly they're scurrying their way out with their tails between their legs up into Chaos Steps.
They are. I mean, at this point, you're just trying to buy whatever you can because you need these relics, just kind of like QA has right now, and they're taking that fight and somehow winning it.
Look at the second win, but behind them, Dog, they come out of nowhere. LC, third-partied by Dog of all teams. Toilet falls down to ground, back down to ground level. Only one left. Jet Ski attempting the best they can to get out of here, but it is going to be very crowded. It's going to be difficult, even though you are Brawl and you can get a lot of distance. QA are hunting you down. 44 Ducks has been flapping their wings, all 44 of them, to try to chase a Brawl, but Jet Ski a little bit faster than a bunch of Ducks.
Well, we saw the downside of flapping 44 wings. Apparently get tired, okay? Had to turn around and said, it's okay, it's all right. Go res your team. Maybe try to find you a little bit later.
Looking at how teams are moving through Wellspring, Squall. Notice Ban get a little bit of damage onto Tsunami, who has swapped up their strategy onto Saros, and they are metagaming in just a different way. They're trying to get Saros bound. I know that is what they're attempting, as a nice snipe from Goroy did take down Micah Munch, but with the Tonk separating the fight, Goroy sniped out of the air by Tsunami, but he is down at teammates. Got nothing left to play for. Just has to get out of there, get back towards land as these magic mortars are trying to hunt out Tsunami.
They are, and that snipe attempt was so good right there, even though it didn't connect. But Dog finding another fight. This time LNF right now did lose one member of BDE. They're saying, look, we were behind, we were starved, but we're trying to eat. We're trying to come back into it. But good gracious, you're level 6. There's people that are level 9 and 10 right now in this lobby. I'm wishing them the best, but it's going to be rough.
Yeah, our long claw enjoyers in Dog. I love seeing them play aggressive, not really just giving up in these games as one of those newer teams, one of these teams that's played through the training grounds we talked about before, like the Squad did. This is a team that is newly formed and trying to win in a tough competition. Nice Vortex Charm from City onto 2 of Squall. Fusillade popped on both sides. Selfie going to be the first one taking down Matches, outplaying them. HYD pushing back Squall back to the ledge, out of Wellspring. Matches would like to hunt this down, but they've already hopped into the rings, into the jet stream, back to their base. But they are getting attacked. Hydra not relenting, chasing them to the ends of the earth, trying to pelt them with boulders to get them out of the sky. And only one gets out of there. Goroy taking the rings into Molten Fortress, but right above him, I saw BAP. And you know BAP are listening, waiting to find their angle to join any fight, with Goroy barely surviving.
Goroy did manage to stay alive, and what's interesting is I almost thought they were going to win that fight. I thought we were going to see some snipes out of the skies, but not how things panned out. Micah Munch right now trying to live overheated, though. Anyone hitting you will take your life at this point. But fortunately, he does touch that land. Protofol going over there to get some coverage as well. But BAP smelling blood. They're inching closer and closer, Mad Magical.
Look at
I'm a little worried.
I am too, and I feel like Ban understand that as well. They are just bailing, have no desire to try to fight against BAP. So 2 gold armors on the side, 1 green. While Jemmy barely gets into the unstable portal. HYD fighting against Cow. Do they decide to hop into it? No, they get sniped out of the air by BAP. Pine finds a great kill onto Cow, and now at a man down, Dylan, their leader, is down below, and they have to get out of the fight.
And that was so fortunate for BAP. Obviously one of the favorites to win the entire lobby, but not only did they get the kill point, they also got a resilience. You do not want to give a resilience to a team that has golds, a team that's already so strong and mighty. Just back up now, I'm at full HP again. All of your hard work is just completely null and void, just giving them a couple seconds. This is going to be a really difficult team to beat at the end of the day.
BAP are teams that, with leads, they tend to snowball lobbies, and right now, I'm looking at the double perked up height. He is leading the charge for the team. TP from HYD, probably going to be their escape route. I don't see the heart being the play. They can hop onto the 2-way. They can get out of this one, but they are going to successfully chase away BAP, as BAP don't want to have that fight. But TLD getting a great fight in Mana Coils. They have not left this domain. This has been their castle on the breach, and they are pushing back BDE, pushing them over the ledge. Half going to be the first casualty, with Stealth Ninja barely finding their dash out of there. Dog going to be our first team eliminated. Height finding Park Ninja out.
Why? You can't get rid of dog first. America loves dogs. North, south doesn't matter. Good gracious. But they are indeed out at 12. And right now, HYD trying to make sure they stay alive, but they're running into another team. There's Jan down there. Maybe they can get a point. They take the portal.
Hunt him down. Pensato jumping to chase down Despy. Gonna be able to go for that play. Despy, their former teammate for HYD, but in this one, his replacement is Matches, and we see Despy taken down by Phenom off screen. HYD decided to get out of there. Golroy hunted down by Pine. So another Saros and Joyer gone, and Dekron too. We have double Nyx battle, losing L and F with Cow getting hit hard by Matches Shiv. But Diamond was able to get out of there, barely holding on to life, while Ban tried to join in on the fight. Their brethren, their former teammate, Pensato's team here in Hydra, they almost found City, but Pensato putting down the boulders with the Tetraform and Rockwave, getting some damage, and then BAP, out of nowhere, find their play onto Tsunami.
There is so much going on in this just bottom left corridor. Why is this real estate so prime? Why does everyone want to move here? It's okay. You can spread out, buy your house somewhere else.
Yeah, but we know that if any team are sharks that try, not just loan sharks, but sharks in general, it is BAP. They will encroach on all territory. They will make you suffer. They don't care how many teams are there. They will always, they are the Godzilla on the brink right now. And you earn that title. You don't just get that one. They have won the last 2 tournaments in both the mini event for Vive Camp and the finals, ending season 2 as your reigning champions. They're coming in this one with a lot of momentum, even winning game 1, but now they are looking not just for a top 4 finish, they're looking for another victory, because as we have talked about before with BAP, they do tend to struggle once bans are introduced. TLD, a team that could punish them. What? Where'd Height go?
Did he teleport? Did he? I thought there was a beacon rewind or something. Oh my gosh, you're just gone.
That was a Houdini if I've ever seen one, as Height just vanished in the blink of an eye. Spade's been pushed into the wall right up to LC. Only Pine is left for BAP. There's still so many teams. An 8th place finish would be massive, but it looks like Cow, Diamond, they're going to be the team falling at 8th place first. BAP did get a revive on their respawn beacon elsewhere.
I'm still so confused. I've never seen Height do anything like that. And of course, did not want to go down right there, but bam, they're in an interesting spot, gonna take that portal, going to escape, put down that ice, walk out of this, not liking that corridor against TLD, knowing there's so much AoE, and that's a wildfire drive right there on Phenom. Definitely wise them to recognize and leave.
Tsunami getting the last snipe onto the legend, so another team to join the bench. BAP getting a bit lucky that they were able to escape, that Pine got themselves out of there. And I feel like the problem that BAP had there, Hyde just doesn't understand how much damage Saros really does. He's so used to Pine playing it and just expects that from Pine, but doesn't realize that Saros, in the hands of someone who is confident, can do that kind of damage. Nice snipe on a BDE, but immediately on the respawn beacon, BAP chasing him away. That's the one they used earlier to bring back their team. They're not going to let any other team have an easy time to resurrect. They want to not play for the positions, but they are looking to see if they can snipe some gold armors off players.
But they are looking in the middle of everyone.
Oh, no.
Like, when you want to talk about 3rd, 4th, 5th party, BAP is the only team that can happen to right now, but they're trying to fight their way out. They're looking towards the left. They're looking towards the south. TLD, though, seeing an opening. Phenom
Nice
trying to be
portal.
phenomenal. But not able to get the hit, and BAP wisely just leave it.
They grab the portal, but they run right into LC. But the thing for BAP is when you're surrounded, everyone is a target, and you can try to see if you can take damage onto LC. We're going to disengage. Go back through the Chaos Steps, but BAP, they already know that they had a good advantage on that one. They tried to see if they could take advantage of it, but instead, they're looking for base camp control. Little Cook on top of it so they can stand some pots as well. But big things are happening. Ban, pick up the Orb of Life.
Oh, did they steal it?
Oh, I don't think so. I think it was picked up. There were certain things that were stolen away by TLD, but not quite enough to be able to get the Orb of Life, while HYD flank on to TLD. Try to sandwich them in this canyon. These corridors going to be difficult for TLD, who suddenly find themselves locked in with a Tetraform. Shockwave, hard to get any damage with that Fusillade, but snapping back. Instead, it's going to be Lodge. Denied. They can't get the damage with those Rock Waves standing in front of them. That's why they put the portal down, but instead they're going to disengage, realizing BDE are right behind them.
Yeah, interesting spot right there for HYD. kind of have the storm to their back, but game over. If you're lucky, 30 seconds away from bringing your team back, maybe everyone will stay distracted. And Protofo does make his escape, goes off to that northeast. No one really touching him right now. Only 6 teams left. No one eliminated. The last time I said that, someone just immediately exploded.
Well,
hopefully it doesn't happen again.
There's Tsunade. Tsunade is going to sail down to land. Not going to have any more fight left for Ban, as Ban, they are looking elsewhere. They have that Orb of Life, so maybe they can find a play to bring back Tsunade, but we're seeing that HYD, as they had that flank initially on to TLD. Unfortunately, it put them in bad spot. Now, TLD trying to fight against BAP, but they're going to be able to blink back with PDE. They got the crown, and they've already gotten rid of Lemur, pushing him into the storm. It's just Phenom. The Knicks by themselves trying to spin their way back and keep themselves alive. But BAP, they intervene. They have the fight against PDE, and now it's going to be Phenom looking to see if he can snipe down the kill on to game over, but instead, he has to get out of there. Lone Wolf holding on to hope for TLD.
That was such a wild exchange. Also, poor game over. Looked like Stealth Ninja actually got stuck under one of the stages, but Stealth Ninja just looking at Phenom. Phenom wisely escaping, saying, look, I'm fantastic at this game. However, I don't quite want this fight. But little does Phenom know. There's a team on the left. LC is looking. You have what can you do with it?
Going for some pod racing tech, trying to get back to the Abyss and hoping that BDE going to be the target. Dragon Slam, it misses. Oblivion spin has healed back up Phenom, and now BDE dealing with the repercussions of their chase on to Phenom. Phenom looking for it, 6 monkey strike, but can he actually get the snipe? He needs to get the pick, but it's going to be instead matches with Fusel getting damage on the BDE, but no kill. Still Phenom on his E-plat. Time ticking down. Minute left on the clock. BDE throw a nuke on their own position as game over. Hops onto the perch, gets a nice dunk. Match is gone. Dragon Slam worked for game over, but unfortunately forced to ult again. Change from height. That was blind landing onto game over. Nova Orb and the snipe for BAP gets rid of BDE, but Phenom 40 seconds. That feels like an eternity when you're surrounded by 2 great teams, LC and BAP. They want Phenom, tries to get over the wall, dashing his way all the way over to Tsunade, pulling him in with Reap, but now Tong trying to get onto Phenom, but Phenom doing his damnedest to stay away, but this lava not working out so well, trying to hop from platform to platform. Nova Orb from Tsunade, Micah on their position, air blast into the storm, 15 seconds left on the clock, and Phenom can't get back through, just gonna allow himself to die. TLD out at 4.
Enemy Oracle is scanning.
TLD looking great, but not doing quite enough. Phenom was indeed looking phenomenal right there. Fancy Feet, Thriller, whatever you want to call it, was dancing and prancing around, but all good shows, movies, and theaters come to an end. Stellar performance just didn't have enough in the tank, and we're down to our final 3, LC, Ban, and BAP. Again, we're all in that Uber with Protofo, okay? We're all loving Ban. But what can you do when you have BAP and LC just looking at you?
And their armor not looking all too impeccable. Protofo only has a tick of that gold armor left for himself. Tsunade is in tatters, but barely holding together to give him those resistances. While BAP, LC, theirs are nearly full up, but the only problem for LC, they only have 1 gold armor compared to the 3 BAP control.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe you can find some money somewhere? You would think there's so many death boxes that should just be around, but not able to find any of it. So Protofo, no armor at all anymore. A thing of the past.
Exactly, that's the problem when you have Saros, and if he lands 1 shot, you can't really stand up against Ban and BAP, I mean, because BAP are so good at landing those snipes.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just looking at Protofo. I'm like, you can afford Gucci, but you got holes in it. You need to be able to afford the Taylor as well. All right, get it hemmed up or something.
Where can you? Because looking at where that base camp is, there's no base camp. The shop is going to be in control of BAP, and the one base camp there is controlled by LC. So for Ban's sake, they don't really have good angles. Every time they try to step up, that was an EMP that took away Micah's armor, and now they've thrown out the chains. Protofo tries to go above their heads to get anywhere out of dodge, but unfortunately for him, he is not with the rest of his team. They didn't have the position. Now they dog aggressively onto LC, but they're grounded BAP waiting for their moment. They could sandwich LC or Ban. They opt to look for LC. They want that base camp control. Jetski has gotten right through the fingers of Ban, but Ban look for the fight up against BAP because they know that they can third party that one, but they don't actually get any picks on LC. LC somehow get themselves out from being the sandwich meat to the bread.
What a blunder right there. Jetski just gifted you an entire blue armor, a whole kill point. But Ban did not look at it. And right now they're in the same exact position they were in earlier. And now I don't know how they're going to get out of this one, as they're the only team with essentially like 2 armors down.
But as long as they aren't the first team to engage, that could give them the advantage to clean up afterwards. We'll have to keep our eyes on their movements as right now, slowly, B-bomb place. They can even get themselves that Oracle off the base camp, throwing off the B-bomb, trying to get some damage onto BAP. BAP taking a bit of damage as Tsunani does something, but it's LC's chains that have landed on a hype, but not going to follow that up. Instead, it is going to be the fight over the base camp. BAP have been separated. Pineapple, the first one to go, then Height, he trades it back onto Tsunani with Micah dying as well. Protofo, do you have Tog? Ban have gotten Tsunani back into the game. They are still alive. But that respawn beacon that BAP have themselves gotten, they even have the crown just in case. It's Tsunani on the other side, hoping to bring back up Protofo. Nobody realizing the Bebo will be back for battling once more. Well, BAP were so focused on LC. Protofo picks up the armor repairs, but so much damage from the Nova Orb. Forced to Dog. Looks for the crown on the LC, even with the B-bomb, but goodbye, Ban. Third place is BAP. Look for their second victory, but LC, they can stop it in their tracks. They take too much damage. They've lost Toilet. They've lost everyone. It's up to Jetski. 1v2, one against all as you're fighting against BAP, and they cannot muster it. BAP claimed their second victory.
BAP just so good. Good gracious with their positioning.
Yeah, I mean, just insane at the finish. Once again, BAP come in with a big advantage towards that final circle and take it all. I mean, Zick, it's more the usual. It's starting to look like to me.
Sorry, I had my mute on for a sec there. I'm back. I realized it before. But yeah, absolutely. BAP just looking very, very strong. And we were talking, Ender, there was a moment in that mid game where BDE finds a beautiful fight onto TLD, is about to wipe TLD at like 6th. And BAP collapses on that fight from the north for a really nice third party. That ends up turning to both those squads getting wiped, leading BAP to victory. Coming into the replays here, we were also talking about how the kind of tempo changed for Cow early, losing that very early hatchling fight. And it's so rare that they were talking about it on the cast. When the team wins that coin flip, gets those early level advantages, it's almost the norm for the other team to back off. Instead of doing that, TLD with the confidence, find the pick, convert it into a 2v3, force Cow off. And that really ruined kind of Cow's momentum for the whole game.
Yeah, Cow went down early again. Unfortunately for TLD, that confidence didn't turn into momentum because of the third party you mentioned a little bit later on that BAP came in with. But Logic, talk to me again about how BAP were able to just continue to find these advantages in the late game, because they're coming in with better shields, better items, everything.
BAP is just the kings of just fighting. Just is what it is. They normally get their gold armors because they drop on it and no one can contest it or beat them in a fight. But they're always going to end up with gold armors by the end of the game just because they fight so much and damage builds up your armor, and by the end of the game they always have it. But I just really love how quick they are to pull the trigger on anyone. It's whether you sneeze, cough, I don't know, bent your fingernail, BAP is there to say, oh, I'm sorry, next game for you.
And like the thing that makes BAP so scary is they're not afraid to fight at all, like Logic is saying, but they don't overextend to fight. They're very good at playing through objectives and fighting anyone that comes along the way. That's why they always drop gold. They're very high tempo, probably the highest tempo team in the lobby, like consistently over the course of the whole set. And it's like that results in them finding themselves in the end game here, Ender, with 2 exotic items. Pines ends up going down, so the Dragon Breath round's not in play at the very end here. But you walk into a final 3 with a Moss Immune and a Dragon Breath rounds on your Shiv and your Saros. Like, that's such a huge advantage.
Yeah, and I promise I'll stop talking about them after. But the other thing is that BAP is one of the only teams, I think there's really only 2 or 3 teams you could say, every one of their players are a star. So it's not as if only, you know, we need this one player to do it. It's
Right.
Hyke can do it, Spades can do it, Shriko can do it. At any given time, someone on their team can 1v3 you. And I think that's just one thing that makes BAP at any given time a threat to just everyone in the lobby.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who's the last one alive. If you need them, they can step up and turn it around. And ultimately, I think the rest of the lobby is going to need to be able to turn it around to take down BAP. We're going to take a quick break from here. After that, we'll have Hunter bans and 3 more games to find out who is going to be taking home the Turbo Cup. We'll see you on the other side. Welcome back, everybody, to the Turbo Cup. We took a quick 10-minute break there. Quick is, relative. But we used that 10 minutes to figure out exactly who is getting banned out of our hunters and who is leading on the standings. We're back with the whole gang here, Magical, Logic, Zik, to bring you through the rest of the action. So far today, we've had BAP kind of dominating a few of the games. We also have Ban making it pretty high up into the leaderboards, but I do think that now is a great time to show you that leaderboard, and we can go ahead and walk through some of the results from earlier. I think it should be no surprise that BAP is currently leading, but Logic, TLD coming in there in second.
Okay, that I think is what we would all expect on paper. Was a little concerned because TLD wasn't always in the top 3, and normally we're used to seeing them be there. But I think what's the most exciting thing to be looking at this leaderboard has to be Ban. Just, wow, coming in at top 3 right now, only 7 behind TLD.
And this is like I wanted to just call out. Sorry, I was muted again. I'm back. Top of the scoreboard here, TLD and BAP have the same amount of kills. Both these teams have 33 kills. The difference is that last game dropped from TLD and BAP getting first. So BAP is sort of outranking TLD on placement at the moment. We very much have been talking about when the bans come into play, how that might affect BAP on the kind of trajectory they have in the first 3 matches. So we're very much going to be keeping eyes on these 2 squads still to see if TLD can close that gap. But we noticed Ban literally right behind TLD with 7 points.
I was gonna say, it's like Ban, they haven't been quiet because they have been having some hype plays, like Protophone game 1 with the baseball bat double kill that he was able to get. But this is a team that hasn't won a game yet. It's been BAP twice, TLD once, yet they are so close to TLD. And this is a team that we're all aboard the hype train because of that. And it's just like, this is a team that refuses to play anyone else's style, except for Tsunami swapping over to Saros in that last game, which may or may not have changed the outcome and the trajectory of certain things that we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah, and just looking at the leaderboard, how do you all feel about kind of that middle bunch? That 6 through 11, if you will? Do you think there's any hope of anyone kind of bumping up in the top 3, or do you think it's pretty solidified right now?
Well, I think when you're seeing earlier today in EU, there was some room to close the gap at about 20-25 points, but breaching into top 1-2, that might be a different story. We're actually going to go ahead and check out the bans coming in for our hunters before we get into the next match. Now, Zik, this is looking like a very different story from EU this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we were talking earlier about how I was actually chatting with Tsunami in between the regions about, why do so many EU teams like make it later? Like very often we see, still like 10 squads in much later circles in EU. And we notice the EU bans things like the Oath, the Kingpin, much more kind of like team-oriented hunters. When we look at the bans for NA, like we were just looking at, it's much more aggressive hunters. It's the Saros, it's the Shiv. Actually, very surprised Brawl was not on that list.
Yeah, well, we are ready to go into Game 4 with the new bans underway. Logic and Magical, let's take it away.
Allowed, though. Even Dylan not opt to go for Oath here, sticking with the same strategy they had before. They didn't get hit by those bans, but we know that BAP losing 2 of their 3.
Yes, 100%. Whew. Taking a second to recompose myself just because I'm like, we just saw the bans. We saw who's in our top 3. And I'm wondering, is anyone going to adjust their play style? Or are they like, you know what we're doing is in theory work. We just got to do it a little bit better.
Well, it all depends on how the bans affected you and your squad. Like Cal, they didn't get affected, surprisingly. I thought that they would actually opt off the Brawl now that Brawl has made their way through, just so they can have Dylan on something a little bit more comfortable. But they stick with the same strategy. While we see TLD, they have changed it up. They now are playing that Brawl. Lemur had been playing Oath through the first 3, and now it's going to be Lod's on to Brawl here. No longer on Saros now that that is gone.
Yeah. And you were talking about that earlier, Magical, actually off stream, of just, saying that maybe there was a little bit of metagaming going on, and that's why, Lod specifically was not playing the Brawl. And
I think so.
I want to know, is Lod's going to pop off now? Is he like, look, the weights are off. What's up, Piccolo?
I'm pretty sure that's what's about to happen because Lodge is an insanely good Brawl player. We have a lot of amazing Brawl players in NA, but Lodge definitely amongst those at the very tippity top. But other players like Bap's Height here still have their Brawl as well. So it's a double-edged sword. You might have it, you might have the weights unlocked for yourselves, but Height, he never restricted himself with those weights. He's been going hot throughout it all.
Yeah, and that has to be terrifying because even if there were metagaming, if everyone was trying to do it, you didn't really affect Bap that much,
Well, I mean, losing your Saurus is a pretty big thing, and the backup. That's the thing for me that it's not just that they lost Saurus for Pine, but their backup is Zeph, and Zeph also got banned. So you are having to go to your third, which probably is going to be Shrike, like we see Goroy doing here in their fight up against QA, getting a great trade, taking out roughly 44 ducks first, while Wubby onto their next hunter. They're back to Void. This is something I have loved to see. We saw it a bit in EU, and now going to see it a little bit from our NA Void player.
We are well played. Oh, and Wubby Bay is going down. Level 7's across the board for Squall right now. Definitely in a prime position if they want to take more fights. Speaking of fights, LNF right now, Squid and Berkey.
Wait, but
I'm
look
sorry,
at Diamond.
Decron? Is he going to get it?
Oh, no! He went too close, flew too close to the sun, and went into the face of a Nyx, which means now it is just Dylan to ride out that Sky Shark off to new horizons.
And just one thing to point, we're seeing a lot of Nyx. I was surprised at how many, but especially on a player like Decron, we saw that Felix tanking so much, doing such a good job in some other events. But right now, saying, you know what, the Nyx is feeling good. And also, shout outs to the little chicken right there. Get your key, get some gold, eat well.
But no, I'm glad you brought that up because when we look at the picks, Shiv, most played by a good margin with Zeph close by. Saurus a little bit down and only actually was 2 games more than that of Nyx. 2 picks more from Nyx, which was at 10, the 4th most played hunter in NA. And keep in mind, Logic, we didn't see a single Nyx over in EU until after bans, and only because teams were in the last game saying, hey, let's go for something a little bit fun. And we can see some teams that have that prowess already on that Nyx, like LNF, able to get a good pick on an HYD, but HYD struggling as City no longer on their Zeph, instead had swapped the Oath because they were forced to. Matches doesn't have Shiv either. HYD, tragically, a team hit hard by the bans.
They were, but another team does appear, and whoa, LNMF. Decron just going down immediately to TLD. They're going to split up. You're going to try to get away using that Joel, trying to run, trying to escape.
Not happening. Berkey, unfortunately, you have a Brawl and Oath pushing you around over and over again, kind of bapping you away, saying anytime you try to surge, you're going to be an easy target. But LNF aren't out just yet. They still have one hope left for themselves. Maybe they can get that respawn out in the desert, but it is going to be tough for them. You see, they do get the respawn, but they are going to have to work their way back up north through Enshrine that is controlled by a lot of teams willing to fight early.
Yeah, and Magical, something that we should have touched on, the newer teams, getting banned as a newer team is almost a death sentence. Verkey, phenomenal in his own right, but the Jewel and the Shiv are just leagues apart in terms of what he's capable of. Playing with bans isn't something a newer team is accustomed to.
Sleepy Rowley getting a nice pull and looking for Spades, who's actually opted for Myth in this game, while Pine playing their namesake. Shrike Jordan showing off their skills on the 360 no-scope hunter themselves, but as Dog run away, it's Jan on the hunt. Nice snipe by Jang, that Bear to this Fury, finding Sleepy Rowley to sleep.
Time to go night-night, time to go night-night.
Oh, no,
speaking of night-night, 1 down, 2 down.
Rough for Jan. They had a good fight where they get some picks and think that they are in control of Enshrine, but Bap, then nah, we still own this. Even if we don't have the base camp, we are the ones in control.
It's always my house, okay? I don't care where you're at, it's my house still. Gonna get some vision right there. Love seeing teams just do that. grabbing vision is obviously really useful for yourself, but it's denying it from someone else hitting it because it's such a long cooldown. I believe it's 90 seconds now or something of that nature. So just a cool little tip if you're coming along. But
Nice
speaking of cool
pull.
tips, getting pulled.
Jang getting destroyed by Dog, as they had already beaten Dog, but unfortunately, they aren't able to fight up against Dog now that they are the team on the run, looking for another angle to respawn and bring back Jang, their namesake in the team, back into the fight.
There are TLD, HYD, looks like BD in there as well. A potential three-way fight right now, but Stealth Ninja just getting decimated, dropping down Lods on that brawl. We're seeing Lods be so much more aggressive, and goodbye, my friend, you are down. Wasn't sure who got that kill.
That
but
was
it
Ban,
definitely all
but they
started
sniped
from
that,
Lods.
but Ban, having put up a fight, they put up the Tetra form, trying to get away, but now they have to fight on the island with the back to the tracks, and HYD already in control. They're chasing Ban. Chasing him with the bullet trains, knowing that's about to ride. That's why Protofo hopped into the Tonk Tonk, dragging Micah Munch far away. They'll look for a respawn beacon in new lands, while HYD still staring down against TLD. LC, they're nearby as well, so they could third party if these two teams trade blows.
They 100% can, and here it is right now. Jin looking at TLD, but TLD just so aggressive. The Abyssal Breaker just on one unit right there, going to take him down. But Lods, did you go out too far? Going to use that ult?
Look at that,
Lips?
even with the Various Fury.
What?
Jang falls. The problem for Jen is they have been moving all the way down from Endshrine, trying to find a new escape, and tragically, they run into a couple of teams that ready to boogie. Now down to only Despy again, but over in Mana Coils, Ban, they brought back up their team, so they are fully formed again. Pensado had been knocked down, but looking at some of our teams that are struggling early game, Selfie hopping aboard the train as we saw that Squid did the same, hopping off the train, while HYD fight against TLD. Nice summon Napalm on to Phenom, but they should be able to bring him back for another round. But HYD have already taken him out just as quickly as they had the fight. And now LC seeing the fight and seeing that control was over to HYD. They push him off their land. Chains have connected. TLD trying to see if they can do the same with their own chains connected, but I don't think they want to follow that one up, even though it is Pensado falling to toilet.
It looked like tic-tac-toe, but with change right there. All the brawls were winning. But right now, this one looks like it's losing. Decron going in for the chase, not able to get it, but someone else going to snipe it. Here's the hook. Here's the slam. The slam doesn't work. Lost still alive. Possibly turning this around.
He was able to get that just off in time, so he didn't get sniped, didn't get dunked. TLD not out just yet, but guess what? LNF, they had found a nice play on a BDE, while Cow entering into Prisma Falls. LC, now they run away from the battle. They don't feel as confident, but Jetski says, I do. I want these fights. But unfortunately, the rest of the team not in the same position as Lods, losing their life to LNF. So much chaos here in the falls. Everyone falling, going into the waterfalls and trying to see if they can get a respawn from Lemur on this beacon. Narrowly missing that out. Wait, how's he missing it? Oh, there it is. It is going off. I was looking at the effect, and it wasn't looking like it was going off. And now Cow getting a decent fight on a Lemur, but he held up the wall for so long that LC actually lose too.
Yeah, and I love just the aggression right there. But speaking of aggression, just everyone is still fighting, so I love the aggression from everyone. LNF right now trying to get to Stealth Ninja, trying to take him down. Not able to quite pull it off, though. Escaping to the left, knowing that Cow is en route. You want the farm, but someone's already doing it, and now you're in the squad. And LNF, what are you going to do right now? Decron's so low. Decron's possibly going down. Squid's trying to help Burke. He's trying to hold off two by himself. A chilling finale is going to save them, and everyone's going to retreat. I'm sorry, Magical. I just feel like Bullet Train's about to kill someone.
I do too, and I already saw one team tragically fall off screen. QA, first one's out in our first game of our second half. And now it is looking dire for those teams that are out of the top 6, let alone the top 3. But HYD, having been the team to eliminate QA, looked to do the same to Berkey and LNF, but they had Squid look for Decron to bring him back up, while BDE getting a lot of damage onto Pensado, and Squid throwing out the overkill rounds, but they are low, and it's going to be BAP hunting down these kill spade. Great on that snipe with those arrows. They are starting to clean up, while LC having reformed down south, trying to see if they can snag away some of the armor, while Ban take out Berkey off screen.
all of these fights have been happening, and it feels like BAP is somewhere, but not the one just dismantling everyone, which is weird. Not something I'm accustomed to, but BAP did make their way into it. Speaking of making their way in, Cal looking at Squaw right now. There's a recall coming. I don't know if you want to go to this fight, Go-Roy. You are there just to watch your team explode in front of your eyes.
Close
Not how you
call
want to watch him go
train
down.
Too. Cal barely avoiding that, but HYD, another team dying off screen, and we're about to see Goroy join the bench. Another one bites the dust. BDE tried to get the dunk onto Dog, but Dog doing their best to hold on. Sleepy Relic, he might be out, but at least Dog have another fight.
They are indeed still trying to fight. Ban right now in a great spot potentially against LC. If LC chooses to chase him through that corridor, gotta imagine Protophos is gonna lick his chops, set a bomb up, possibly hit 2-3 of them potentially. Good job by LC though, going to retreat, going to take a breather, recognizing not the position they want to be in right now, but Cal not taking a breather as they're looking at BDE. Stealth Ninja misses that hook, which is huge. Dictator
trying to get out of that one and pushing back game over to the island, while Cal, they hold on to their land, getting a lot of damage onto BDE, but they're going to be able to hold strong. But looking elsewhere, looking at our teams, as the circle is pushing us towards the tracks, there is a lot of Abyss to play with. And I saw an Abyss specialist that Cal picked up earlier.
Gonna see how useful it becomes. I like what I'm seeing from Micah right there. Oh, is Jane gonna go down? Jane goes down.
Sniped out of the air, but BAP, they have been waiting in wait and holding on to the sands. That's why Jan hop on a Sky Shark, and they're trying to see if they can get right through. But LC deny him that easy escape, forcing the jet ski to be taken out as jet ski himself, putting up walls around their territory.
This is our house. Not even BAP can break this wall down.
No, we'll see.
7 seconds sitting on that most wanted right there. 3-2. LC trying to potentially finish them off. Not able to do it, but you're still in a great spot. Sleepy comes back, but there's no armor, and they somehow live.
Oh, Jan, that was scary because they were on the train out in the storm. Jemmy couldn't get themselves back in a position. Unfortunately, they are down their player just as they had brought Sleepy Rowlet back from the grave. But Jan, their hop off the train was right into the danger zone. TLD have been owning Prisma Falls while it has been BAP on the other side of the tracks.
I'm just going to straight ask the chat right now. How many kills do you think this game will have? Feels like guessing how many jelly beans are in a jar. It's just incredible how many kills are happening in front of our eyes. And, but teams are still alive. There's still, what, 8-9 teams left?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing when you don't actually have full control. A team's able to escape. Harkinja put down an E-plat, but he has been sent off of that platform over to the boat while Protofo hops onto Togdunk, grabbing him off the E-plat, sending Ban back over to land in Prisma Falls. LC nearly got caught out by that, but they're going to be able to heal up their health, while Parkinja can't say the same for this lone Felix as Dog will join the bench. Jan barely with that amphibian gets spotted out by LC. Summon Napalm, picking up a crown immediately for Despy as he's trying to go for the long play around. Keep in mind, TLD had that base camp on the other side with Half taking out BDE, down a player, but Stealth Ninja was looking for Cow, hoping they could steal that Abyss Specialist away from them. But unfortunately, it's going to be so difficult hopping onto the staff and looking for the Dragon Slam, but not enough damage, even with the spin. Game over is difficult, and that's why they can't actually get the kill on a Wukong just yet.
Oh, you're just gonna explode right there. Oh, just looking at such a low health target. So unfortunate.
Oh, Stealth Ninja. I was watching that, seeing if he had enough time. Maravigil got the kill on to game over, but then gave away their position to LC. The only one remains for Jan. It's all on a Despy to get that crown play, but they are getting surrounded. TLD are hunting down the crown. You've entered into their domain, and they punish trespassers.
Yeah, you should have read the signs. No soliciting, no trespassing, all right? Bad things can indeed happen. That circle right there on the left, another team eliminated right there. BDE, if my eyes don't deceive me. Bullet Train with a circle right here. 5 teams remain. This is just going to be a slugfest. I don't know who's going to come out on top. I don't even know if Bat can choose a good positioning here.
They actually have a very awkward position here. They're on that small bit of land right outside of Enshrine, with Cow having taken the position that LC had previously, and LC are on top of an E-plat and some of the death boxes that are out over the abyss. The ban strat! The ban strat!
Well. It all comes to this.
Wait, it's TLD stealing ban strat away from them, because I saw that's a TLD two-way, and that's over to where BAP are. You might be able to place down the heart and get them off of their ledge, force them out of their perch. That's going to be the nuke send, and the TP actually sending the heart away from the circle.
Not how they wanted things to play out, but it works out, you know?
Actually, it might be, because nobody wants to let Micah have those TPs on hearts. We've seen too many times those crazy plays. I see Cow, they've put their own two-way, but is it into the circle or is it into the storm? I think they've sent it out into the storm, trying to remove it from the fight completely.
I respect that. You know, it's kind of like you're playing a Smash game and you're like, why'd you turn items on? Just throw it off the stage, okay? Just fight me. Fox only. No items. Final destination.
When you think about it, that's how Smash was originally built, was for items. Same with the TPs on heart. If it wasn't meant to be a mechanic, it wouldn't work the way it does. And Band use that usually to full effect. But here, no longer having that strat. A nice attempt on the bungee on a Pensado, but he was able to get back with Micah Munch. But chains have landed onto the bunny. They're looking to snap the trap shut with a nice stasis from Micah, delaying as much as they can. Protofo batting back and trying to see if they can get jet ski, but it is at the cost of Tsunami and Micah. Only Protofo remains. He has an anomaly, but they've revived jet ski, trying to do the same to Tsunami, batting him away again, but having to hop into the anomaly. It's lone Protofo to die to TLD.
Oh, it was such a good effort right there from Protofo. I was actually terrified that LC was going to somehow lose right there, but they did manage to pull it off. Unfortunately for Ban, I believe that's their worst placing they've had so far as they go out of 5th place.
Unusual for them. They have been a team that have been holding on, not just to top 4, but top 3 throughout these games. That's why they're so close behind TLD despite not winning a single game. But one of our teams that has been dominating, BAP,
that top left,
still here. The lowest they finished is 4th place, and right now they will only tie their lowest place unless, of course, they take out territory and they take away opponents. Cow are the first ones. They're made it into beef patties. It's only Diamond left on the tracks as he doesn't have a good angle anywhere. The train working against them has actually dragged BAP out of the storm as well. They got the spike, and it's going to be Diamond to die with BAP separated, trying to see if they can regroup, get Pine back with the team, but it wasn't enough time. LC punishing TLD a little bit, getting some damage, but a nice Abyssal Breaker from Lemur keeps LC at bay. BAP down Pine, down their damage, nuke onto their base camp, has sent them soaring over the abyss.
Which is huge. That nuke, you force them out there. Now are you going to finish them? Now is your whole team going to go out there? Is Lemur going to potentially do an Abyssal Breaker? Nope, none of that's going to happen.
Spin dash, they just use the right shield to bat them off, and with so much damage onto BAP, they don't just BAP them, they bash them in the face. It's Spade taking out Phenom, getting rid of BAP, 3rd place, but LC, they can claim victory. TLD, the only team besides BAP who've won a game today. Train gonna clack down the tracks, but LC with only 2 left. Jet Ski's still on the tracks. He can't defend Jet Ski, and Jet Ski's gone. It's up to you, Toilet. The lone Tetra against TLD, but TLD take their 2nd victory of the day.
Stellar performance all around. Just, man. Like, I'm going to wait till everyone else comes.
Yeah, just let the moment breathe for a second there. That was real nice in the final 3. BAP sort of turn around, it's like, hold on, everyone's focusing us now. All of a sudden, don't really stand much of a chance given that situation. Zick, what were you thinking coming out of that final circle?
Oh, you're muted again, Zick.
Zick hates us.
I'm
wants
so
to be
bad
permanently
at that.
muted.
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm here. As Ender, you basically nailed it, bro. It's like the TLD very much knows BAP is ahead on the scoreboard, right? So in that final 3, we see a huge focus, not just from TLD, but also from LC on BAP. And like, they just force the issue. As soon as BAP is down a member, they just keep the pressure on, able to force them into LC, then get the squad wipe. And then it's a much easier kind of 3v3 for TLD.
Yeah, but if we zoom back and look at this early game, you know, so many teams staying alive so long, and then once the first one fell, Magical, after that it was just one after another.
It's because now the pressure is on. We are in the last half of our games, and every single point matters. If you want not just to get first place, but top 3, because that's where the prize pools are. Even a third place finish will net you some of the cash, and teams are feeling the heat as they are falling further and further behind. We saw the scoreboards. BAP well ahead of the pack, but TLD banned. They were separating themselves from the other parts of the pack.
It's interesting, right? Like with how long all the teams stayed alive, Zik, it still ended up being your usual suspects surviving through that difficult mid game, and being able to survive through.
Yeah, and like the more teams, like it was a very rare occurrence. We made it to day 3 with 12 squads left, and we see right here just wipe after wipe after wipe kind of happening after that point, because the smaller the circle closes in, the less space there is to play for. It's the more experienced teams that really understand how to control space, not just control it, but give it up when it's not looking good and take it when they need to. And so you'll notice like very often it is the less experienced squads that do find themselves getting kind of picked off when the land is limited and the circle closes in.
Yeah, and Zik, what was the most impressive thing to me, to just piggyback off of that, is actually the newer teams got picked off, but the fact they were able to do so many freaking fights and not get eliminated was not what I expected. I thought, you know, your one person goes down, the rest of your team goes down, but they were just fighting and scrapping, and I love to see all of it.
Yeah, and in this final fight, do BAP overreach trying to eliminate that one remaining player? I forget which squad it was, but BAP sent one player kind of outside into the storm, and then it gets turned around on them. Zik, is that too much they tried to look for?
I think like it's just one of those, it might be a little bit of a misstep for sure. It's one of those things where like, yeah, looking back at the VOD, that's actually probably very much where they went wrong. They're going to be like, all right, we need to not kind of over chase this. But in the moment, you know, that is a kill point. And if Height on the Brawl, this super mobility, likely had ult up there, thought he could get it and get out, you know, that's like the kind of difference maker. But it ends up in Pine getting picked in the chaos and leaving it in the 2v3 just makes such a big difference, where as soon as they only have 2 members left, TLD can just force it on them.
Oh my god, I can't believe this leaderboard. TLD have actually taken first away from BAP after that victory.
That's madness.
Wow.
Slingshotting up now, leading by 5 points. It creates a massive gap between those two and Ban now, who is now in danger of losing in the 3rd spot with LC starting to encroach. Logic, what a surprise.
Yeah, not only is it surprising, I just think it's so ironic that not only did a victory put them on top, but the 5 points, that's the difference between 1st and 2nd place. So it was literally, we could have had a tiebreaker, they would have got 2nd, which is just so wild to me.
Dude, and we saw like at halftime there, it was 33 kills for TLD and BAP. BAP had been winning on placement. So if you just continue that on and all of a sudden TLD gets first, like it is crazy that they close that kind of gap in one game.
Yeah, I mean, and it's seriously crunch time, right? With the amount of points that these two leaders are extending over the rest of the pack, this next game is going to matter so much more. Only 2 more games left to be played. Top 3 is necessary for these two teams. Magical, it's time to do or die for these squads.
For not just for TLD and BAP, but looking at Ban, looking at LC, and then looking at Cow, who find themselves further and further away from top 4. LC, props to them with a good finish in that one, getting so much closer to contending against Ban for that top 3. But if either of those teams can win a game here, they can easily join TLD and BAP at the top.
Well, it is time for us to jump into game number 5. Logic and Zik, it's all yours.
Let's go. And it is bombing runs Logic, the potentially spiciest storm shift out there.
That is spicy, but you want to know what's more spicy, Zik? You have one guess.
Is it
Trico Jordan's on Mercury?
Oh, let's go. That is spicy.
Unless I'm blind, when I was just looking at I'm like, wait, is that accurate? I don't know if I've seen this, but just watching his Zeph, watching his Shrike, like, he's so freaking good that look, I might go play Mercury right after this game after watching him, to be honest.
He's got a deceptive relatively big hunter. Like the hunters he's good at, he plays a lot. But I was also talking with Tsunani in the break about, you know, how a lot of players, especially in North America, agree that Pine is just the best Zeph too. Even though in comp he doesn't play a ton of Zeph, he plays it a lot in arena and stuff. He does just have an insane amount of mechanical skill expression, not just on the Shrike and the Saros, but on multiple other hunters as well.
Yeah, there was a 1v3 that, you know, Pine did with his Zeph that I will never forget in a tournament while he had the most wanted. And that's when I said, you are just the best Zeph player. And Shrike player. And whatever else.
I think, like, you know, when you think of Zeph, like for EU, I think of like Shroom. When I think of NA, I think like Toilet. But there's really not too many of them, right? It's not a crazy popular hunter. It used to be, you know, kind of turbo meta in the squads world. Same thing with the Myth, right? They've kind of followed like a similar trajectory with this shift from squads to trios.
Did you just see the deja vu of where Cal took the soul, hit level 6, and then ran from TLD that was level 5? Like,
did it just happen again? I honestly
it did, which is hilarious. This time TLD was level 5 instead of 4. So Cal was really like, we need to leave. But good snipe right there.
Yeah, nice little dunk from Dylan there. I think, like, you know, Cal probably going to open up a bit and try to start playing more aggro, knowing they're going to have a big gap to cover. These guys all definitely have the confidence. They know they can win. We see it right here. Very much looking to run down the rest of HYD. City goes down. It looks like just one member left, as it is going to be Dylan on the hunt with the brawl.
And I wasn't able to see what soul they got, but I know whoever gets soul of the hunt, it's so important to start doing those fights early because for 5 minutes, you get to add 1% of extra damage to pretty much your stats, and it's just going to stick with you. So, you know, it's so important to get it and then really push that early game as far as you can to just put yourself in a lead for whoever you encounter later.
Dude, I love that. I really like the like perma early, mid game, late game souls. I think that was like a big W change that hit this last patch.
Yeah, and what's weird to me is initially I was thinking, well, we always had it at the end of the game, you know? So using it in the beginning, I was like, how's that going to feel? But it's felt good. I'm surprised.
It's just like there's more compelling objectives to play for like throughout the entirety of the match. And I think the fact that the buff is persistent and it's not like an exotic perk that can just drop on death also makes like a huge difference. And like the fact that the early game ones are scaled for early game to get you like armor, gold levels or whatever. And then the mid game ones are scaled for more mid game. Like, it's just like, it gives a lot more texture to the objectives and what you're kind of trying to play through.
Yeah. So not too much action has happened quite yet, Zik, but I love the story. Just this timeline of where TLD and BAP are playing for first, because normally at this point in like a tournament, you kind of know who won. But right now it's a complete toss-up between these two, and I think that's just so exciting.
Yeah, and like we, you know, going back to like the NA thing, it's like very often in NA there is kind of like a clear favorite a lot of the time, and it is so close at the top of the scoreboard. And it's even like, you know, if BAP and TLD drop a game, it's not out of reach, I think, from third and fourth here yet. So, you know, could be anyone's game here, but it's going to require a mistake from BAP and TLD. If both those squads can lock in, it's going to be the duel to the death, you know, in the finals of this game and next game for who's going to actually come out with that big cash prize.
Yeah. Speaking of big cash prize, Squid trying to escape Lodge right now. Fortunately for Squid, there's no walls. So Brawl, still a really mobile hunter, but it's those walls with the Fatec chain that really just puts Brawl over the top.
100%. And like, there's a lot of cool combos that kind of gives you. Nice from Misfit. LC finding I think 2 picks on the squad is going to leave just Goroy left. With the Saros ban, Goroy switching over to the other sniper, very much like Pine favoring the Shrike and the Saros.
You go from AoE Shrike to, you know, just regular Shrike. You blow one person up instead of, you know, a whole team.
It's the double tap instead of the orb tap. I love it. Like, I can relate, bro. I love like ranged carry hunters.
I love glass cannons, so I'm just like, put me on someone that blows you up if I play well, and I explode if I mess up.
It's like the Jewel, the Krista. Who you been playing recently?
Mainly Krista.
Okay.
I think Krista's going under the radar. I think if we saw some of these really like high tiered, wait a minute, hold up,
dude,
Beef,
this hard action.
Beef, find the door.
Oh, but TLD gets caught
He
while
missed?
buying Cow. Finds a really nice engage here, but Lemur with the reverse, just a disgusting amount of damage. Dylan has those chains out, but not opting to
Which
take
is
them.
great.
Ult in by Lods, maybe gonna force Cow into Jan here. Beautiful third party by Jan. If they can wipe Cow, it's gonna be a literal disaster for Cow. Getting thirded by Jan off of their engage into TLD.
Wow, it looked so promising for Cal, but unfortunately for them, I guess the grocery store opened up and said we need some more beef. And man, just getting third-partied and dead. But right now, Bap looking at Jan. Bap possibly going to get a couple of points. Shrike Jordan on the Mercury, not able to catch anyone at all. Huge cooldown right there, getting wasted. They might be able to heal up, might be able to engage, but gold armors on Bap. I don't think they take this fight. I think you run, even if it's through the storm. One of you needs to make it out so that you're not eliminated.
Yeah, and they basically called the same thing right there. They go for the split. Miri goes north, pulls 2 from Bap away. So Jan very much likely going to get out here, but a sketchy fight. I don't know if they realize, okay, here comes the recall. So now it's looking scary for Jan, especially with Spades already has that Soul Stealer online, stacking it up here. Logic, like that is scary in the hands. It's a Spades myth too, bro.
Lemur can't move.
This
he has to
bombing run
go.
is just
But no one caught him.
Bro.
All right. New spot.
With the free cam on the tree. Just perfect oath disguise.
Lemur's like, I wanted to repot this anyway, new spot. So LC going to go up to the north. A bunch of chaos just happened. So unfortunate that Cal did go out from what looked like a promising fight, especially after getting rid of Lemur's shield. Shield down on Oath is almost your go button, but they were just a hair too late, and bad things happen when you take too much time.
Yeah, and we were talking about, what happens if TLD or BAP drop a game. Like TLD looking a little rough right here, and BAP looking a little ahead. So with that shift we saw last match, if this momentum continues through this one, we'll have to see kind of how it shakes out in the final circle. A lot of teams kind of posturing each other. It is a fight over here. BAP continuing the hunt, stacking those kill points. Logic, that's 2 more from LNF.
Oh, they're just, it's looking rough. Did LNF, they're the ones that died right there, correct? Just to make sure I wasn't mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, stacking it up, and I don't know if Furky's getting out of this one. Gonna try to dash away. Maybe you can get to that side of the bombing run, but they are goners, and the bans just really affecting them heavily. As I hate to say it, but their main DPS star player Verky not able to play that hunter, that Shiv that Verky is so known for.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that really, there's a lot of things that do, but it separates kind of comp tournaments from ranked and even scrims. A lot of times players will practice scrims with bans to practice for these tournaments, but it really kind of forces you into a deeper pool, because you not only need to have at least one other hunter you can play well, like you want to be able to play him really well because it's going to be half the tournament, and you maybe need to even have to adjust that based on what your teammates can play. And so, a lot of times, like players like Lemur, like Pine, like Phenom, where we talk about like they have these deep hunter pools. Oh, big pull. Speaking of, Pensato finds it from downtown.
Great pull right there. Jesky, just look, I'm sorry, my friend, you're a goner. So many people, are they still in comas or are they getting out? We don't see the timer. Oh, Micah Munch, I love it. Goes to the other side. Go, Roy. No, you don't get to leave for free. You have gold armor, and we would love to take it from you.
They are not going to leave Goroy alone here, bro. He is not getting out of comas. I don't know what he's going to try, but it's scary. He has his portal, but they're all just going to follow him. They know that he knows that they know.
Oh, wait, maybe the Great Escape? Gonna try to do it. Oh, but yeah, everyone's there.
Dude, it turns night. The Tetra Punch 4 times in a row just yeets him off the train into the bat. Just boop, 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 bop, gone.
Oh, gold armor for them, which is great, but HYD right now not having a great time against BAP. Hype just making it look easy at the moment, swinging that sword, getting points, enraged. And apparently one of them really want that Abyssal Hatchling. They want that, I can't even think of the name right now. But just to be able to fly through the skies and just kind of reset that dash.
Yeah, and we do see right there, it is the Ardent Songbow, which got turned to exotic a few patch ago, on Misfit. On the Ghost, actually really strong on the Ghost because it resets your cooldowns. Avado's big grab coming in for the side of BDE. Can they finish with a dunk? We saw that happen twice now. Lods getting grabbed by BDE, canceling the dunk with the Brawl ultimate iframe. Does it again there. The other thing about the Brawl ultimate is it freezes your Z-axis, so incredibly useful for dunk canceling.
Ah, that's a really good point right there. Ooh, aggressive of Lods, actually going away from the stage to try to throw out one more hit, even though Lods was overheated.
Oh my god, bro, that was so close. He literally touched it, bro.
Hacks.
Proto's
hacks
mad
my
about that
Lods.
one. Proto's like, dude, I deserve that one.
Proto
dude,
thinks
this is
Bebo
like-
deserves everything. Speed
about
doesn't matter.
Dude, this is like Ban's haven, dude. Like with the creative strats they like to play, they just like thrive in Cobas. Like if we get a final circle here, they're just like hanging out, having a good time, bro.
Are they gonna push him into it? They did! They got it! I love it, Micah Munch right there! They had a that was beautiful.
This insane Ban just running the show in Cobas, working for Kobayashi himself, the bouncers, not letting anyone, the real guards, not letting anyone have a good time.
Oh man. How much did Ban pay to have the map end up in Cobas? Because they're having a field day with Bombi Run and Koba. Unfair advantage.
Dude, if they had played up from the south and if they had moved the real heart up into Cobas so they had 2 hearts to play around, dude, it'd be madness. We do see...
I've never seen that.
I
The train!
haven't either.
The train took the Meteor Soul.
They've been moving hard like crazy. We got a fight breaking out over here. Oh, sick view down the tracks. It's Ban, Jang, and TLD all fighting for dominance. Jan pinched right in the middle in the corridor. Nowhere to go. Lot's trying to finish off on the right. He is going to take Miri down here, but has literal 1 health. Gets that brawl healing through. Despy looking to finish with a dunk. Air slam the other way. Lods finds it.
Meteor soul.
Lots is incredible. A true master of your craft, if you will. 2v1, no problem. Just stacking up the points for his team.
He's actually been scaling so much on the Brawl, dude. Like, has been real. Like, we know him from early on as like the Jhin, and he's played like, you know, multiple other hunters. But for TLD, for the comp they want to play, he's been very intentionally like grinding the Brawl, and it's just looking so good for him. I love this kind of view to show position here.
Yeah, you can see where everyone is. You know, everyone's kind of hanging out. LC and BAP may do a little something, but, you know, Height is quite a ways away from BAP. So I imagine that at the moment, BAP had no intention of fighting. And, you know, if they did, it was going to be more of a pokey, let's go towards Height, and then Height could just run in with that legendary armor and just kind of turn the tides for us.
Yeah, and they very likely are getting to full red armors, each of them, with the 2 golds that have been on the other members for a while. Height already on the red, like you mentioned here. And a bit of space all of a sudden to play for, a little bit of a slowdown with Kobas in play. Multiple teams kind of just finding their biome to get ready for this collapse into the final circle. Still 5 squads left.
Yeah, a little bit of a slower pace, which makes 0 sense that there's been less fighting this game, but there's less teams like at this point, which is just so bizarre. But not quite as scrappy. Maybe it's the guards. They're just blocking all the fun, you know? Tell the parents to go to bed. Let the
Not
kids
Ban's
play.
fun. They're blocking out all this fun. Ban's having a great time. Just the owners of Kobayashi's. They have joint ownership with Kobayashi himself.
Man, just watching Protofo put ice down, batting away a Wukong that's on the staff, just really understanding the ins and outs of the hunter and how to use his character to counteract all the things.
I like the idea there. If the avalanche comes out like a half second sooner, like maybe he's able to get that, or if it doesn't have that little cast on it, because maybe he gets a triple snowman with all of them just instantly being on top. Look at Half trying to get a recall through. TLD not going to let it happen. Ban either. This is such a rough spot for BDE, bro.
What is Micah gonna do it? Oh, you're so dirty! You're so dirty! No way, Micah lives. Micah lives as well!
Oh no!
2 for 2?
Same time, Stealth Ninja for BDE gets caught somewhere else. So disaster for BDE, just getting caught on multiple fronts there, trying to recover from having a member down. Beautiful play from Micah into the nuke. It was the bombing run, and then it's the nuke. And if Kobas was in play, we'd surely see a heart.
People want to ban characters. Ban Micah. Good gracious. TLD definitely I thought they were in a rough spot, and they indeed are. LC handily winning that. The third party, though, may indeed save TLD because of this, and LC on the verge of being eliminated at the moment. Super low.
Dude,
Gonna heal a little
wow.
bit in the escape.
Barely escaping there and holding on to the songbow for Misfits. So they're still just down toilet. And it is TLD now with just Lemur left on the Oath. Has the full force of Ban hunting him. Really want to shut them down. Going to be a huge detriment for TLD here because look, it's BAP still in it. And BAP has been farming kills. So that point swing we just saw last game, Logic, might be seeing a similar situation the other way here.
Yeah, looking like 4 oceans right now. I love this. Well, I guess 3 of them. I'm sorry. I really thought this was Earth. But just 3 Titans, all having their own corridor, their own space to play. The map is going to encroach upon them. One res beacon, I'm not sure how many most wanted are around, but it's really do or die. Find your positioning. Don't give it up because it's not going to be easy to reclaim space at any point after this.
Yeah, and like if possible, they're very likely thinking it. Obviously, they just want to play for the W, but Ban and LC really need to take out BAP here if they want. Like it's just be the Proto, bro. Just the down super ultra downtown grand slam connection on the toilet from 1,000 yards away.
But Zig, that was such a flex. You know, there was no way you could kill someone. You just did it to do it. Like what?
Little armor chip, dude. It's all value. GG. Ooh, nice dash in for the Mega Avalanche here from Micah. Nice kind of positioning from LC, though. Going to negate pretty much all of that value. Micah backs off a little bit of a reset here. Probably going to look for a buy. A little bit armor chipped. It is LC kind of holding the shop here. BAP very patiently waiting to the south. Like, BAP knows they're going to be the ones that get targeted here. And, you know, if LC and Ban want to fight, it's very likely going to be BAP's victory.
Yeah, but I'm really curious to know, though, is Ban stalling a little bit, but if a fight breaks out, you know, you can imagine a 2-way teleporter with the heart is going to come into play. Micah Munch loves using it. You know, Protoful loves using it. I think that's one reason Ban's doing so well is Micah Munch and Proto, I think they just are really similar with how they want to play the game. They just want to have freaking fun and break the sandbox.
100%. They are both sandbox like gurus. They love utilizing the map to their advantage, and it's one of the reasons why they're so fun to watch. Like, there's not another team in EU or NA that plays the way Ban does. They're very creative. We can see it right here. They're pulling the Koba's heart into the action and really just holding the bait right here. It's just north out of view. And they are very likely going to be trying to use that with some air blast angles. And the cool thing, Logic, is like, not only does Micah have the air blast to push, that they have Tsunami with the Tetra Punch to push, and then they have Proto with the bat to push, bro. It's just like a bunch of booping.
Oh, they're cheating. They're cheating. They're like, we only boop. We don't fight. We boop.
Dude, it makes it's so fun to watch, dude. I love it.
I can think of a Cardi B song. I don't fight now. I just boop. I make boopy moves. Like,
I want to hear that one for real. Let's go. The Cardi B song about Ban.
Oh, great
Nice,
placement on the
dude.
nuke. They left a little corridor, a little circle, but that could be a Bebo Bomb or a Tetra Slam. Not opting to do it, but, you know, some Mercury hits happened. LC getting poked down, and it's getting a little scary as Ban's in prime position to third party. Oh no, Air Blast and Batch, we've seen this before. Or just a bomb?
This is
Great
such
wall.
a brutal spot. They're just getting poked so hard from both sides. There's a wall, there's a bombing run. Now it's height over the top air slam. Nice avoidance for a second, but it doesn't matter in the end. Now it's up to Ban. Tonk in, trying to catch someone, but he sends Micah Munch through instead. It looks like BAP trying to engage onto now Tsunami, who's kind of cut off from the team. They're just trying to peel out, get a quick recovery, but looking a little sketchy here, Logic, for Ban.
They are a great ult coming in from Micah, not able to do it though in Protofo, the last lone hero. There's a bomb on there, but it's not fast enough.
That just like that was such a rough pinch for LC to get kind of caught in there. And the fact that they just take so much chip damage, BAP just comes in for the free kills, then all of a sudden it's a 3v3. Proto with the tonk, a little bit of like an overcommit there. Micah just goes straight through the fight.
Yeah, so another one ends up going BAP's way at the end, which is bad news for everyone in the lobby not named BAP, as I expect they'll be on top of the leaderboards and continuing to climb, because Magical, this team was getting kills
They were racking them up. TLD, they got 20 in the last game, and BAP is like, hey, we can do the same. They were racking up. When there's still 7 teams left, I saw they had 12 kills. So they were getting kill after kill and winning this game. Feels like right now they can only win the odd-numbered games, but they're going to get a lot of points with TLD dropping at 4th place.
And that even comes in with the Mercury pivot that caught us all off guard, right, Zick?
Yeah, I mean, like when Mercury came out, I definitely saw Pine playing her. It's been a while since I think he has picked her up, but definitely leans into like his kind of ranged play style and has a lot of damage value still with the golden beam. But yeah, absolutely.
And it also works for late game, which is where BAP tend to thrive. This is something that I've been wondering when more people would pick up Mercury, because yeah, she struggles early game. But if you're a team that can survive, thrive in some of those early and mid game fights, like BAP tend to do, you get to the strength that Mercury provides, which is that late game sustainability and a good amount of damage to boot.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about Mercury the most on Pine is just that you can't ban Mercury. Mercury is not played nearly enough, so it's kind of a pick he will always have access to.
Yeah, I would also like to give an honorable shout out to Micah and all the Kobayashi's nonsensory that we saw during this game. That was so fun, Zick.
Dude, it's always so fun to watch this team. And here's the second one right here. First into the bombing run, then into the nuke. And he's so good like at kind of baiting where he's setting up the nuke. And then there's so much momentum behind the Aluna shift that he can get a really unique angle with that air blast. Totally unexpected.
Absolutely. And as we get into this final 4, it seemed to be all of our typical top 4 people, right? Back at the end one more time. This is a game where if Ban or LC could maybe take it, maybe they can start challenging a little bit more towards the top. But at the end, Logic, it goes the way of BAP once more.
It went the way of BAP, and you said our typical top 4. I disagree. I think Ban was more like a performer of this time. They were like in the game, but they were also the mascot and the halftime show and everything else in a league of their own, even if the placement didn't say it.
Well, typical, I get what I'm saying. Typical for what we've been seeing in the standings, right? There are top 4 teams at the moment. BAP, TLD, they're fighting for first place. Third place, it's Ban and LC that are contending for that prize pool. And unfortunately for them, I feel like them not winning this game puts too much between them and the top. TLD, they are slipping though. 21 points now behind that of BAP.
That seems like a really hard number to catch up, considering the BAP are always making it into the top 3, top 4. Right, Zach?
Yeah. Dude, yeah, and that's like exactly one of the things that makes BAP so scary is like they literally have to get grief to drop a game almost. Like it's you have to, multiple squads have to go out of their way to wipe BAP early, or they are very much making top 4, top 3. And if BAP make top 3 here with 0 kills, they win the tournament. Like unless TLD does like a 30 kill game with first place. Like, so very much expect BAP. I honestly don't even expect them to slow down. They probably will still drop golds because that's what they always do. Probably will still play through objectives. But if TLD wants to win here, it almost has to come off of a BAP mistake.
And Zick, you say multiple teams have to drop on BAP. I think only one team does. TLD needs to drop on BAP or get rid of BAP early. I know it's risky. I know it's rough. And it's a chance, but I think that's what it would take. Get rid of them early,
but
get top 3.
People have done that to BAP before. Everyone has tried, and they all have failed.
It just never seems to work. You can never take BAP out of the equation, but there is just this one final match to decide who is going to walk away in first place. And I think it's about time we get things underway. How about it, Magical and Zick? Let's go.
Let's go.
It is Cross Country Storm to round out the Turbo Cup, Zick, and I am excited. Saturday Night SUPERVIVE has been a blast today, and we're going to see who will be crowned victorious for our first NA Cup.
Hell yeah, dude, such good games, such just like hype action, and we do see this kind of southwest to northeast drop path golds way over in gridlock here. Very likely going to be BAP shipping over. It's Cow dropping Wraith's Row. I think it is HYD contesting over for the golds.
Trying to fight against LNF, but already losing Ventana, losing City as well. A lot of our teams that are in the bottom, feels like now they're having a little bit of fun. We saw that in EU in the very last game, but you better know the teams at the top, they are playing as serious as can be. Squall lose Selfie already in this battle against BAP, under-leveled, and it ain't looking too good. Their own Mercury has been sliced through. Goroy in the last one left. Maybe can steal away something from BAP, but unfortunately for them, they are now a lone wolf.
You got to respect Squaw for trying to do exactly what we were talking about, putting the pressure on. Fight continuing over to the left here. This time it's LNF versus TLD, who already had a nice kind of chip onto HYD earlier.
And for TLD, they need these kills. Every point matters for them if they're trying to catch up to BAP. They had the lead going into game 5, but then BAP, huge kill points with that win on top of it, have soared past TLD, but anything can happen in SUPERVIVE. We have seen that before. Now fighting over the Abyssal Hatchling. LNF might be an upset team if they can get a kill onto TLD, but it's going to be them down to the wire. TLD pick up the advantage. Dekron tried to Oblivion spin and heal back up, but unfortunately for them, the rest of the team is on the run. They lost the Hatchling. They lost the fight. Berkey is in the jet stream, and it's Lodge with Lamer right behind them, hunting down these kills. Like I said, every single one matters for TLD.
Yeah, I just love to see these, like, you know, newer squads contesting the top squads. We just saw right there, it's them contesting TLD for that objective. At the same time, it's QA and who was another new team, I forget who it was, over here contesting golds in Gridlock for BAP. And so just like, I love to see the confidence. I love to see the, you know, lack of fear. And it is Verkey eventually getting ran down here. You mentioned every kill mattering.
And the thing is, while we talk about every kill mattering for TLD, the same goes for BAP. Because every kill means further away from TLD they pull in the leaderboard. They are looking for their 3rd tournament in a row. They want to be the new main characters of NA.
100%. And we see some need for speed action going on right here. Dylan trying to outrun multiple other cars. It's the other Dylan on top of him. The Dictator trying to find the kill onto Squad. Go, Dylan, go. He does
can
get
only
taken out.
Be one Dylan, Zick. And our Dylan, the Dictator, beats the fake Dylan. And unfortunately for him and his team, they do drop out first in our very last game of the Turbo Cup.
He claims his power. Now that Dylan is more powerful, right? So Cal, better chance this game.
Oh, that's how it works. Okay. So Cal, unfortunately for them, though, they've had 2 early exits in the last 2 games. So their hopes of making it into the top 3, it's gone. But TLD with a nice snipe onto LC, a team that is fighting for a top 3 spot, trying to see if they can steal that away from Ban. But TLD, they don't care who you are. They are here hunting for first place. They'll take any team out they can.
They are like so out for blood. It's so obvious here. They're just like W King. Everyone, look, Phenom shifting into 3 on the ghost. Slam is wide by Despy, but TLD going crazy.
Looking for the snipe, and without Despy so low and over the abyss, it's an easy target. No spike grenade connected. Jang, unfortunately for him, is gonna die alongside Despy. More kills for TLD. Continue to feed these monsters.
Bro, that looks just like my ghost where I just shift forward into 3 people, except I don't sidestep the slam. I just die there. Phenom, beautiful movement, sort of distracts the whole team while the rest of TLD collapses over the top of him, finds 2 more kill points. TLD on a bit of a tear here. Let's go.
I'm looking at our team that are currently in first place, at least 3 kill points and a lot of gold armor for them. Gonna look fairly strong to start off this game, the very last one of the Turbo Cup. Victory for BAP guarantees they are the winners of Turbo Cup, but kills will help them along the way. And LNF fight over the Guardian, but they lose out control. BAP take them out in Wraith's Row and are going to push them down towards Underrod.
Something that we see from both of our top squads here, Heights constantly doing it, is how disruptive Brawl can be with the entry. There's so much value in him being able to face steal, chain in, get out a massive anti-heal on multiple members, and like just completely split up the backline. And then once that kind of positioning is in tatters, the other members of the team able to follow it up. It's Lods on TLD, it's Height on BAP doing that flawlessly.
LC, they're struggling at the moment. They lost that fight against TLD, and they just lost Toilet, but Dog, they're the team that is truly running away. LC at least getting those snipes and Rowlet onto the respawn beacon, but immediately chased off of it Jetski, despite being down a player and TLD being nearby, he's trying to get these kills for himself.
He does it too. And he shifts the bungee pull. Very nice here from Jetski. We talked about it earlier, the movement connoisseur. The only person a Brawl can't catch, Magical, is another Brawl.
And we see how good Jetski is on that Hunter, just right alongside that of Height. And for LC, as they are not, I think they were 9 points outside of third place. That is how close they are to ban. So it is quite the chase for third place, but for ban's sake, they were 20 points behind that of TLD. If TLD get knocked out fairly early, ban, a good win will take away the second place, grab that for themselves, and that would be great for this team. These dark horses, but a hard fight against Cow. They've launched their own nuke, and Protofoe's going the wrong way. They get a lot of damage from the storm.
That was like right as you're saying that, there's such a good engage from Cow, just smashing into the side of ban. You mentioned Proto being able to get out here. Now it's LNF finding a bit of advantage over Dog. Park Ninja last one left, but TLD snipe the kill.
And that's big again. TLD, every kill matters. They are racking up those kills, Zick. As BAP, they have to start doing the same. Nice snipe, taking out City, leaving Matches and Pensado to try to find other areas, but they aren't even grouped up together. Micah has grabbed the crown, wants to get Tsunami back on their feet, while LC see Ben, and hey, that'd be a big team for them to beat, because that means they can move up in the standings. We see a lot of teams on the kill feed, lots of fighting happening.
Dude, this literally just feels like a kill race between TLD and BAP, bro. They're just both going so turbo. TLD a little more so. But yeah, it's just a disgusting. Yeah, Zick. Dude, crazy.
It is, there's still 9 other teams left. We have 10 trios left to fight, and yet 10 kills have been picked up by TLD.
Dude, like actually insane. It's exactly what they need to do. They are positioning themselves so far in this game to try to overcome BAP. What it's really going to come down to is, where does BAP final place, right? If they can eliminate BAP before the final 3 somehow and position themselves for first, that's going to give them, you know, the angle they need to actually overtake that 21-point gap.
BDE, they got the train res, Jan. They'll do the same. I wonder if any other team are going to take advantage of that. Looks like yes. Protofoe had batted them off, but got to be careful of those chains and of those walls that have been placed around you. And Protofoe, oh no, Bebo run! Donk hopped on, but the car crashing into the wall. As look who cut off their retreat. It was actually Dog. But they're not even going to look for the fight. Protofoe has to hold on to life, grab his squid onto the B bump to launch himself forward and away from the battle.
Dude, Ban is just holding on for dear life here. Somehow Proto makes it out of there. Beautiful escape as the last member left, looking to find a res now. Meanwhile, we got a nuke coming down on the hatchling. It's BAP versus Cow over here.
It blinked away, and Cow are trying. Whose nuke is that? It goes over to BAP. I was like, which nuke is it? I'm not sure. I see on the kill feed, LC, Nisbet picking up some kills necessary, and now Ben are out. LC, this is your moment to move up into third place. Cow stared down against BAP. They lost out on the perk trade. It's Diamond taking too much from the golden beam, and we even with the bright shield placed down by Dylan. He is spin dashing away. They have been Toto already on position of Cow, keeping Dylan from safety. He doesn't have a way to play against them. Instead, he has to go into the jet streams to escape.
Dude, so last time we looked, they were at 10. They've gotten a few more. Collectively, between BAP and TLD, we're almost at like 20 kills here, bro.
It's going to be more right now. Game over. About to donate more points over to TLD with that bungee. The train! Oh no! It worked against the monkey! As Dekron on that train himself, he sees TLD and he's like, wait a minute, I don't like this position. But out of nowhere, Stealth Ninja might be able to help him out. They're trying to work together to take down Laws, but he's too damn strong as he gets rid of Stealth Ninja. Dekron on the run.
Dude, Lod's really leading the charge here on an absolute slaughter fest with the Brawl. Just kill after kill after kill. We were talking about how kind of important that Hunter is to their comp earlier. I think the fact that Brawl didn't get banned is almost helping TLD more than it is BAP.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I think Lods was playing Saros in the first half. They purposely planned this. Lods is just as good as Jet Ski or Height on Brawl, and now they have that Hunter and been proving why we're always so hyped to see Lods on this Hunter.
Yeah, and love this kind of view, giving us a really good idea of the kind of spacing on the map where everyone is positioned at this moment in time. We see a bit of space, TLD finally not being directly in the middle of everything. Cow looking like they're on a little bit of a bush play potentially behind Kaiju Vault here, trying to catch TLD off guard.
But I don't think TLD are going to fall for it too easily. Cow do get spotted out now. Forced into a fight against TLD, but they see that gold armor on TLD. It is a rough fight as they look for any damage onto Lemur, but he put up that bright shield, gets back with the help of that hammer, and it's going to be the chains ready to launch Lods forward. Do Cow try to make the play instead? Lods disengaging, not ready to fight against Cow. Instead, it's going to be Lemur trying to see if they can separate Cow, but they stand in a herd. They stand together, not wanting to get separated as they are now trying to run away. But these bulls of TLD trying to bully around Cow. They've got Lods into the backline, but solo. Too much damage on to Lemur. Successfully getting backwards, but now this could be Cow's time to strike. They've got low health bars on TLD, but as they wait, they're taking too long. Health going to be replenished by TLD. So Cow, they have to run again. Abyssal Breaker trying to separate the fight. Bungie to drag them in.
Bungie.
They needed to run a lot quicker than that, and Cow give another kill at TLD.
That was actually such a close fight, and Encore had a beautiful Carbine R&B to push Brawl off the face seal chain. In the end, the Bungie from Lemur finds the kill.
17 kills for TLD. There are 7 teams still remaining on the breach.
Dude.
I'd like to see if we can do a check-in on BAP after this fight, because right now, Jan in a tricky spot. LC, a team that is attempting to breach the top 3. Every placement matters. Every kill matters. They were 9 points behind that of Ban, and Ban are out in this game. TLD riding this gravy train, looking for more kills. It is a bloodbath, and they are doing well in it.
Bro, like TLD are the hunters. Everyone else is just the hunted. They are just going crazy. We'll see what happens when they run into BAP here. But so far, these top squads have not crossed paths. They're just chaos on opposite sides of the lobby.
While Cow get a good pick onto Toilet. The LC losing their player. Do the kills they have right now, does it amount to enough of a difference to get them up towards Ben and pass them in the standings? Well, TLD, they're not waiting. They're looking for this fight. Beating BAP is crucial. If they can get him, they got Pine. They've got the contingency plan, but sniped down with that hammer as they take a kill. Looking for Spades. Cow try to intervene on their behalf, but the hammers are being thrown at Spades. Cow seal away the kill. Only height is left for BAP. They are on the back ropes when it's all so important. TLD need to kill Hype, but he is on that respawn beacon just as quickly, looking at matches, and it's going to be Jetski instead intervening. BAP on the run, their solo player, while we see that TLD successfully have their own respawn beacon in the outpost.
Yeah, so in the end, a W for TLD because Phenom goes down, but they find the res. BAP does not. So hard to kill this Hype Brawl, though. 4 exotic perks, 4 out of the 5 perks, like just it's making him insanely strong. Look, TLD targeting him so much. Abyssal Breaker over the top. They want this kill so bad. Phenom picked
This
on the
could
side
be
by Pensato.
The make or break for TLD. BAP going out at 7th place with no health
They need
left.
it.
Overheating.
No!
BAP are
No
gone.
way!
TLD, your moment to clutch this back. They've been given the opportunity.
Dude, this is the TLD story arc, bro. They are never out of it. The amount of times that this squad has come back in tournaments from behind is unprecedented. And again, bro, it's looking so dire. 21-point gap between first and second here for them. They're doing exactly what they need to do, and BAP is gone.
Guess what? They have 21 kills as well.
Oh
They have
my
made
God,
up
already?
the point difference in kills already. And with 5 teams still left, plenty of points for them to continue to gain. I saw that TP, I think it was Cow that time around, TPing the heart down south.
Yeah, and love this kind of view of the storm shift coming over here. Heart maybe going to be out of play if it's not teleported again. We do see Miri getting kind of caught out as the last member left to the north by Cow. HYD moving in from the right as well.
Putting down shock trap drones. Mirror Visual doing their best to get away, and TLD more focused on a Cow. Guess not, because Lods noticed this lone carbine in the duel, a 1v1, sword versus a gun. Which one wins? Well, that's why you bring backup, because you don't have to worry about that situation, as you've got the hammer to lock down another kill.
I just want to say Lods was double the level of Miri there. It was level 14 versus level 7. That's just a tragic kind of ending for Jan, who by the way, Jan did a great job scaling up the scoreboard. We saw them at like 6th place after, struggling to get through in the first lobby, doing very well in the second lobby yesterday. But like hats off to Jan for, really kind of scaling up over the course of today.
Yeah, exactly. For a team that struggled to make that top 6 initially, at least they were able to get to Turbo Cup, and they have been performing on the day. HYD, a team that we haven't been seeing too much of today, they crushed the second lobby yesterday, but it has been tough for them in the Turbo Cup, with LC holding the line. Another one of those teams that the best they can, as long as they do their best in this game, they can continue to move up the standings to try to take away 3rd place from Ban. But Cal, seeing LNF pushing him back, but there's no heart for that instant kill, and LNF have been scattered. Diamond does fall to Verky, but the team's already there to back up the Wisp. They easily can bring him back onto his feet and look for these kills onto Verky. I saw that Misfits had found matches, but right on the other side was TLD awaiting your arrival, Verky. An easy target for them to clean up. Yet another kill. HYD, they fall at 5th place. LNF gonna go out at 4th,
Dude.
and now we are down to our final 3.
That was such a crazy sequence. And that's basically TLD holding this abyss gap on both fronts. It's Lods to the north, making sure no one crosses that gap up there. And then it's Phenom and Lemur to the south. And they get a couple kills. And then Cow find the final kill for the squad wipe on our 4th squad there. So all of a sudden, LC, like you mentioned, it's TLD vying for 1st. It's LC vying for 3rd. Who can kind of come out on top of each other right here? Cow still in the mix.
TLD sandwiching LC, getting a good amount of damage onto them, forcing him into Cow's hands with a Tetraform from Toilet, trying to separate the battle, but Fearless Fury snipes Misfits. TLD, they try to snipe the pick onto Diamond himself, but they've been able to get back to their base camp, launching a nuke, so TLD will have to kite backwards over the Tetraform wall, putting down an Abyssal Breaker from Dylan, trying to see how well they can kite backwards, heal up along the way, might even be able to proc that Oracles, but they don't even have to just yet. They hold on to the heart territory.
Yeah, so a little bit of a slowdown as teams kind of exchange little chips into the armor and a bit of a reset. It looks like maybe TLD want to engage. They want to be careful of this LC 3rd, though. Again, TLD, despite this crazy kill game, really want to lock in 1st place to guarantee their victory for the tournament.
Because they were 21 points behind BAP, and BAP were getting kills in this game. It's not like they were just...
had a little bit of placement, too.
Exactly. So you have to get more than that 21 in order to win the Turbo Cup. And TLD, we have seen this team, when the pressure is on, they step up. And with 2 victories under their belt, they're looking for their 3rd. They've launched forward, getting damage, forcing an Abyssal Breaker out of Dylan. And with chipped health and chipped armor, they're going to be in a bad spot. They can get sandwiched by LC, hopping onto the jump pad. It left Diamond alone. LC nearly had the pick on a Cal, but not looking for that. They're looking for the actual prize. They see low health bars right above them. Easy target. Diamond gone. 1 down for Cow, but they have the flank themselves onto LC with a bungee landing onto Misfits. Could drag him back into the fight. Right over the wall. Right into TLD's arms as they push him into the storm. Trying quickly to sort back, but with Phenom right at the heart saying there's no entrance back. LC, Cow, down a player.
Yeah, and nice res though from Cow with the Storm Shift coming back this way. They do have the hard angle, little robber raccoon action, stealing supplies from the likely already starved Cow. So much armor getting chipped. TLD looking in, bungee for Lemur.
Trying to get rid of that armor off of Dylan as well. Bright Shield is still available. They've got Abyssal Breaker already popped. Nice spike grenade, nearly launching him into the heart. The heart for LC, trying to bring back Toilet into the game. Cow trying to scare him off of it, getting a lot of damage onto him. If they can get the snipe on him, he's still sticking. The heart. Dictator is gone. Dylan is down, and same with Misfits as they're getting sniped. They had been able to resurrect Toilet, but now they've killed off Diamond. TLD, they are your main characters of SUPERVIVE for a reason. Season 1, it was a heartbreak. They've lost out to BAP. Their antagonists, foes, were able to snatch away glory for them. But here in Season 2, they step up for the first time and take the Turbo Cup.
TLD, the classic TLD finish, bro, from behind. Plot armor way too thick. They somehow, in a miracle game 6, find the victory not only for the match, but likely for the entire freaking tournament.
In the final hour, TLD show up. What a way to close it out. And it seemed like everything went right for them. We set it up, this idea that BAP, they're always making it so deep into the games. Finally, this is a game they get taken down early. And TLD, I mean, Logic, they were just dominating from the start, searching out so many kills.
They were. They knew exactly what they needed to do to win this. They've been in this position before, and they may not have hot dropped on BAP, but they're the reason that BAP is out of that game so early and gave them the shot at actually taking over everything and winning.
Yeah, I mean, the other element that we were looking at coming into this, it was whether or not TLD could overtake BAP, but it was also whether or not LC could overtake BAN. And I think Magical, they're in a very similar situation, making it all the way to the end where they may have just done it.
I think with that placement, it does it. Without the kills even factored in, they were able to get past BAN. BAN struggled in this final game. It was only 9 points, and just the placement alone is going to be enough for them with that second place finish. They have done it. They have gotten into the top 3, but the big thing is TLD. Because BAP, like I said before, it was difficult for TLD because even with all those kills, BAP too were racking up a lot of kills at the early stages of the game.
Yeah, so I just I want to know, Zick, how does it all go wrong? How is this the game that BAP drop out early?
I mean, this is SUPERVIVE, bro. It's such it's the nature of a BR. It's so variable. You can be the best team in the breach, but if the chaos doesn't go your way and you can't adapt properly in the moment, it can be the difference between the entire tournament going your way and not. And we see it right here. The game just before this, it was like 3 games in a row. It's like TLD, then BAP, then TLD does exactly what they need. And BAP just getting a little caught in the chaos.
Yeah, and Zick, if I'm not mistaken, TLD kind of chased BAP down. And I think that was one of the biggest differences, is just they took the fight to BAP, and then, BAP is great, but they just weren't able to defeat TLD, and this was kind of the finishing play right here where, ironically enough, TLD still gets the last hit, even though it wasn't necessary at that point.
Yeah, it's the brawl, too.
See, for me, it wasn't even that TLD just chased BAP. They chased everybody. They didn't care who you were. They were looking for kills because they knew how important it was. And I love to see that from teams because sometimes when you have pressure like that, teams tend to play a little bit too passively. They're not getting enough points. So even when they win, they don't have enough to overcome such a deficit. TLD, like Ender, you called out, they answered the call. They knew that at the final hour, it was all too important, and they looked for every single kill they could.
And even though you were saying teams were being too passive sometimes, I really just want to give a shout out to one of the newer teams, LNF, who got 4th place, and they weren't being super passive. So it's nice to see teams like BAP and, TLD and everything that they do, but these newer teams starting to rise to the occasion is just making the NA meta and tournament scene so exciting to watch.
And to make their mark at the very finish as well. But when all is said and done, it was TLD showing up in this final game and flipping the standings on its head. Let's see it for the final time. TLD jump out behind 21 points heading into this final game, now leading by 17 to take first place and $1,350 home. Magical.
They had 120 points before that. 47
That's wild,
points
bro.
in
Wild.
that final game. Absolutely incredible from the last door.
The last door, do it, dude. They show us what we all remember from the past. They are so good at coming back and doing exactly what they need to do when they have to. And huge shout out to BAP as well, even though not able to take that first place spot, still a solid 31 points ahead of our 3rd place spot, which was also in contention. BAN having the same thing happen to them that game. LC overtake them for 3rd.
Man, and just getting 47 points, that means they had 27 kills. They got the 20 points from first place, but 27 kills is just insane.
That is disgusting.
When you think of the name The Last Door, there's 12 competitors here, but the first, the 2 through 12, those are just regular doors. They're not The Last Door. And I'm just like, good gracious, they were phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, just crazy work out of them, and to start off season 2 on a high note like this as well is just the absolute best way to start their story for this season. So yeah, when all is said and done, TLD in first place, BAP will take home $750, and then it will be, of course, LC rocking off with $400, all a part of our $2,500 prize pool. Magical, again, just, I mean, you were with me all day, starting with Europe in the morning, but this has been an awesome day of SUPERVIVE.
It has, and this has been incredible. The aircraft has let us put on such a great show for everyone. So W SUPERVIVE in the chats for everybody, and W SUPERVIVE to all our players playing, even those that unfortunately found themselves at the bottom of that standing, playing their heart out. Shout outs to the dogs, to the squads in this one. Even shout out to our teams in the qualifiers, such as TGE.
Yep.
Brand new team coming into this one, has never played competitive, yet they gave it their all. They tried. And that's what you love to see in SUPERVIVE. You love to see these teams attempting these kind of new ventures, trying to see if they can get anywhere. And it's going to be one of those things. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, an absolutely beautiful day of games. This is gonna be just about the end of the show for us here. So before we go, Logic, Zick, we'll start with you, Logic. Do you have any last thoughts before we send it?
Last thoughts, SUPERVIVE is winning. I love what they're doing for the tournament scene. Whether you are a tier 2 amateur player, someone trying to make, a dent on the pro scene. And then also shout outs to everyone part of production, the TOs, the casters.
So good.
First time meeting you, Ender, but Ender, the observers,
yes, thank you, bro.
It's just
my pleasure to be
here.
here.
Community, just such a true community coming together, and devs like SUPERVIVE putting it on the map, helping us get here. Love to see it all.
100%. And I just want to say huge shout out to all the players putting on such a good show, everyone in production, everyone here on the cast. There's it's such a monumental community effort to put these things together. Have to give a huge shout out to Theorycraft re-engaging with the community again, sponsoring these tournaments, not only sponsoring the prize pool, but helping cover production and extra operating costs. So they are just, really kind of putting the right foot forward, trying to reestablish that kind of connection we used to have with them back in the day. And for looking forward real quick for everyone, just to give you a heads up, if you are a player, going into next week, we're going to be entering normal Saturday Night SUPERVIVE. My cat just jumped up and scared the crap out of me.
Yo,
this
W
is Turbo,
Cat.
by the way.
Cam.
This is the mascot for the Turbo Cup. I
Yo,
found this
Turbo.
guy right as we decided on the Turbo Cup. This is Turbo himself. But
Hi,
yeah,
Turbo.
so next week, next Saturday, it's going to be tier 2 for NA, tier 1 for EU, and it's going to be $500 cash price tournament for both regions. Then that's going to rotate for 3 weeks. Then we're going to land on the next Turbo Cup. Take it away, Magic.
Yeah, so we'll have a lot of awesome action. So make sure you are signing up. Tier 2 means that we are trying to give opportunities to newer players. So newer players, newer to competitive. We want you to be the ones to sign up. So while we do love watching our TLDs, our BAPs, our LCs, our bands do get out on the breach, we want to give opportunities to those players that were brave enough, like what we saw here in the qualifiers, to our TGEs, to our dogs, to our boos over in EU. We want to have them feel like they have territory where they can actually play and they can actually have a possibility to win, so they can learn to get better at this game and then one day compete against the TLDs, the BAPs, the Three Little Pigs, and take the Turbo Cup for themselves.
Does that mean, Magical, that I can sign up? Can I sign
Yes,
up?
it does.
Yes!
Yeah, I can sign up!
Yes!
Oh my, you might see me in the server. What's going on here? Absolutely insane. Look, I've been inspired
Next
watching watching all our best players, watching Mike. Yeah, everyone has been so much fun. Thanks everyone for stopping by and for making your Saturday evening filled with a lot of SUPERVIVE action. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.
Oh, BAP finding a nice collapse onto LNF.
LNF, they're getting sniped out of the air, and where they thought they had the prize because they were able to get that pick on a BDE, unfortunately, it really is, and that's what we were hyping up too, that NA, there are so many teams at the top. They are struggling, but looking at teams that are struggling right now is about to be banned because they're getting sandwiched between two teams. Immediately get popped. Micah and Tsunami gone. Only Protofo, it seems, needing that kill, so QA gone, and now, and they've been struggling throughout this game 1 of the Turbo Cup, and TLD are looking to see if they can claim more kills for themselves, but Protofo never gonna make it easy. Crashing on their position, sniping
Proto.
that kill with a baseball bat.
Proto.
Whack on a 2. Proto foes Bevo on the ledge, looking for the dunk onto Lodge, but TLD have got their angle onto LC, trying to heal back up. Phenom couldn't do so. Instead, it's going to be LC stomping the wisp while TLD trying to get a little bit of damage. Lodge doing his best, having a little bit of help because BAP helping to take. And I'm scared right now of Cow, who come out of left field and absolutely annihilate
Oh my God.
Squall, taking them out, then turning their attention onto TLD.
Bro.
Lodge is already gone. It's only Lemurs again, but BAP, they too will intervene, trying to chase down, but Cow, they're more focused on the Lemur, because if they can get rid of TLD, that's a big target gone, and they have a better standing of getting not just on to ban, getting them out of the fight. All this time, TLD haven't been able to get the respawn beacon, a little bit too much damage, and now Cow, they've got on a Lemur, he's got a broken shield, TLD out, and to look for that singular pick, it's already going to be Misfits, attacked by Jan, they've gotten him easily, and now BAP have to fight against Jan, because they wanted that crown themselves, just as do the Turbo Cup.
Yeah, and they're like, basically, you need that confidence to stack up these teams. They got
Proto
Proto has the crown.
Oh,
and it's Proto. Is he gonna get it?
He's got the crown, but how long will it take? He's
Oh
taking out no
my.
crown as Jan
Dude.
trying to escape the danger zone. They got sandwiched by Cow and BAP. It's only Despy alive, the sub player for Jan. Chains have connected on him over the...
Like, all of a sudden, between these two teams, only beautiful engage from height into the ult, puts Diamond into Wisp. It's just going to be confidence, too. So what you're talking about, ooh, nice pull off the Sky Shark. Wait, gets back on. Oh, no.
Is he gonna make it? Not to the left.
Brings him off the top of the pole. Game over. Trying to find his way out. Last member left for BDE again. Ban do not want to let it happen. Tsunami over the top.
You know, refill that ammo at one point. Mercury gets those 2 long-range shots and then has to kind of chill for a bit.
True.
Murky found that opening, but speaking of opening,
As LC looking at the likes of Cow. Oh, Dictator, nice peel there. But the second wind is out. They are going to be able to get...
we're changing that in the future. Speaking of things that want to change, Jen trying to get away, does manage to do it. Love to have seen, you know, one of those beautiful RMBs right there to hit. And,
Any kind of anti-heal from Zaros. Big fight over here, though. It's Ban versus LNF. Nice trade. Oh, almost able to trade the Shiv. She is going to get out. Dekron super low, trying to just peel on the Shiv himself, fighting off Tsunami. Bungie connects. Can he find another target to pull Dekron back? Dekron knows it.
Kane, are you going to go through the wall? No, because you're going to get slammed instead. Right into the waiting arms of the rest of the team.
Bro.
Yeah. Just look, zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, I love that right there, the air blast.
Nice air blast. Being much more tactical about beautiful grab coming in from Jan. Can Despy find it? They do. Dylan is down, but the concoction is rezzing. Are they able to cancel here? Miri does not actually step on that wisp, so Dylan's gonna come up. Maybe this Shiv survives here. Anti-heal is on. Just abducted you in his Uber, and you don't know where you are.
I don't think you're long for this world. Jetski's there, Lemur's there, and
Procking the crown. Now all of a sudden it's LC on the back foot. They get Jetski down. Now LC has 2 members.
positioning. One member of Ban does go down, but you're on the res beacon. You have a bomb, but a bomb's not going to save you today. TLD is indeed trying to shut the door on Ban, but the kidnap. Oh my God, did Protofo just win it for his
with the
team?
bomb. Oh.
Squid did indeed split up. They both may potentially
No,
live.
Squid! He barely's got any help left, trying to feather,
not
trying
water.
to stay away. Get to
Wait, Mike, get it! He got it! He got it!
He's got
Look at
the
Squid!
resets. LNF, what?
Yes,
Look at the second win.
oh.
But behind them, Dog, they come out of nowhere. LC, third-partied by Dog of all teams. Toilet falls down to ground. Wait, they're trying to get Sorrows found. I know that is what they're attempting, as a nice snipe from Golroy did take down Micah Munch, but with the Tog Dong separating the fight, Golroy sniped out of the air by Tsunami, but he is down teammates. Got nothing left to play for. BAP. They do tend to struggle once bans are introduced. TLD, a team that could punish them. What? Where'd Height go?
Did he teleport? Did he? I thought there was a beacon rewind or something. Oh my.
Plays finish would be massive, but it looks like Cow, Diamond, they're going to be able to blink back with PDE. They got the crown, and they've already gotten rid of Lemur, pushing him into the storm. It's just Phenom. The Knicks by themselves trying to spin their way back and keep themselves alive. But BAP, they intervene. They have the fight
He's
against
stuck.
PDE, and now it's going to be Phenom looking to see if he can snipe. Minute left on the clock. PDE throw a nuke on their own position as Game Over hops onto the perks, gets a nice over, but unfortunately forced to ult again. Change from height. That was blind landing on a Game Over. Nova Orb and from Tsunami. Tsunami. Micah on their precision air blast into the storm. 15 seconds left on the clock, and Phenom can't get back through. He does something, but it's LC's chains that have landed on a hype, but not going to follow that up. Instead, it is going to be the fight over the base camp. BAP have been separated. Pineapple, the first one to go. Then Height, he trades it back on to Tsunami with Micah dying as well. Protofo, do you have Tog Tog? Fan have gotten Tsunami back into the game. They are still alive, but that respawn beacon that BAP have themselves gotten, they even have the crown just in case. It's Tsunami on the other side.
Coming up.
LC, Protofo picks up the armor repairs, but so much damage from the Nova Orb. Forced to Dog Dog, looks for the crash on the LC, even with the victory. But LC, they can stop it in their tracks. They take too much damage. They've lost Toilet. They've lost everyone. It's up to Jetski. 1v2, one against all, as you're fighting against BAP, and they cannot muster it. BAP claims their sleepy rally to sleep.
Time to go night-night. Time to go night-night.
Oh, no,
speaking of night-night, one down, cool little tip if you're coming along. But
Nice
speaking of cool
pull.
tips, getting pulled.
Jang getting destroyed by Dog after the train, while HYD fight against TLD. Nice summon Napalm on to Phenom, but they should be able to bring him back for another round. But HYD have already taken him out just as quickly as they had the fight. And now LC, seeing the fight and seeing that control was over to HYD, they push them off their land. Chains have connected. TLD trying to see if they can do the same with their own chains connected, but I don't think they want to follow that one up.
Aggression, just everyone is still fighting, so I love the aggression from everyone. LNF right now trying to get the Stealth Ninja, trying to take him down, not able to quite pull it off though. Escaping to the left, knowing that Cal is en route. You want to farm, but someone's already doing it, and now you're running the squad. LNF, what are you going to do right now? Dekron's so low. Dekron's possibly going down. Squid's trying to help Burke. He's trying to hold off two by himself. A chilling finale is going to save.
QA look to do the same to Berkey and LNF, but they had Squid look for Dekron to bring him back up, while BDE getting a lot of damage onto Pensado, and Squid throwing out the overkill rounds, but they are low, and it's going to be avoiding that. But HYD, another team dying off screen, and we're about to see Goroy. Their hop off the train was right into the danger zone. TLD have been owning. Can't say the same for this lone Felix, as Dog will join the bench. Jan barely with that amphibian gets spotted out by LC. Some Napalm are hunting down the ground. You've entered into their domain, and they
No trespassing, all right? Bad things can indeed happen. That
chains have landed onto the bunny. They're looking to snap the trap shut with a nice stasis from Micah, delaying as much as they can. Protofo batting back and trying to see if they can get Jetski. An anomaly, but they've revived Jetski, trying to do the same to Tsunami, batting him away again, but having to hop. They finish is 4th place, and right now they will only tie their lowest place unless, of course, they take out territory and they take away opponents. Cow are the first ones. They're made it into beef patties. It's only Diamond left on the tracks, as he doesn't have a good angle anywhere. The train, well, they got the spike, and it's going to be Diamond to die with BAP separated, trying to see if they can regroup, get Pine back with the team, but it wasn't enough time. LC punishing TLD a little bit, getting some damage, but a nice Abyssal Breaker from Lemur keeps LC at bay. BAP down Pine, down their damage.
That's gonna happen.
Spin dash. They just used the right shield to bat them off, and with so much damage onto BAP, they don't just BAP them, they bash them in the face. It's Spade to LC. They can claim victory. TLD, the only team besides BAP who've won a game today. Train gonna clack down the tracks, but LC with only 2 left. Jetski still on the tracks. He can't defend Jetski, and Jetski's gone. It's up to you, Toilet. The lone Tetra.
But TLD gets caught while buying. Cow finds a really nice engage here, but Lemur with the reverse, just a disgusting amount of damage. Dylan has those chains out, but not opting to take them. Ult in by Lods, maybe gonna force Cow into Jan here. Beautiful third party by Jan. If they can wipe Cow, it's gonna be a literal disaster for Cow. Getting thirded by Jan off of sketchy fight. I don't know if they realize, okay, here comes the recall. So now it's looking scary for Jan, especially with Spades. A lot of teams kind of posturing each other. It is a fight over here. BAP continuing the hunt, stacking those kill points. Logic, that's
stacking it up, and I don't know if Berkey's getting out of this one. Gonna try to dash away. Maybe he can get to that side of the bottom.
He knows that they know.
Oh, wait, maybe the Great Escape? Gonna try to do it. Oh, but yeah, everyone's
brutal,
there.
dude. It turns night. The Tetra Punch.
But HYD right now, not having a great time against BAP. Height just making it look easy.
Coming in for the side of BDE. Can they finish with a dunk? Another. We saw that happen twice now. Lod's getting grabbed by BDE. Canceling the dunk with the brawl. They're just like hanging out, having a good time, bro.
Are they gonna push him into it? They did. They got him that.
The
train took the meteor soul.
They've been moving hard like crazy. We got a fight breaking out over here. Oh, sick view down the tracks. It's Ban, Jang, and TLD all fighting for dominance. Jan pinched right in the middle in the corridor. Literal 1 health. Gets that brawl healing through. Despy.
What is Micah gonna do it? Oh, you're so dirty. Micah! You're so dirty. No way Micah lives.
If Cobus was in play, we'd surely see a heart.
Oh. People want to ban characters. Ban Micah. Good gracious. TLD definitely. I thought they were in a rough spot, and they indeed are. LC handily winning that. The third party, though, may indeed save TLD because of this. And LC on the verge of being eliminated at the moment.
The full force of Ban hunting him. Really want to shut them down. Gonna be
LC getting poked down, and it's getting a little scary as Ban's in prime position to third party. Oh no. Air blast and batch. We've seen this before. Or just a bomb.
This is
Great
such
wall.
a brutal spot. They're just getting poked so hard from both sides. There's a wall, there's a bombing run. Now it's Height over the top air slam. 9 trying to catch someone, but he sends Micah Munch through instead. It looks like BAP trying to engage onto now Tsunami, who's kind of cut off from the team. They're just trying to peel out, get a quick recovery, but looking a little sketchy here, Logic for Ban.
They are do it though in Protofo, the last lone hero. There's a bomb on there, but it's not fast enough.
That just that was the dictator trying to find the kill on the squad.
Making it into the top 3, it's gone. But they can steal that away from Ban. But TLD, they don't care who you are. They are here hunting for first place. They'll take any team out they can.
They are so out for blood. It's so obvious here. They're just W King everyone. Look, Phenom shifting into 3 on the ghost. Slam is wide by Despy, but TLD going crazy.
Looking for the snipe, and without Despy so low, Jang, unfortunately for him, is gonna die alongside.
Follow it up. It's Lods on TLD. It's Height on BAP doing that flawlessly.
LC, they're struggling at the moment. They lost that fight against TLD, and they just lost Toilet. Despite being down a player and TLD being nearby, they the second place, grab that for themselves, and that would be great for the team. These Dark Horses fight a hard fight against Cow. They've launched their own nuke and Protofo. LC, this is your moment to move up into third place. Cow stared down against BAP. They lost out on the perk trade. It's Diamond taking too much from the Golden Beam, and we even with the Pride Shield.
We're almost at 20 kills here, bro.
It's gonna be more right now. Game over. About to donate more points over to TLD with that bungee. The train! Oh no! It worked against the monkey! As Defgron on that train himself, he sees TLD and he's like, wait a minute, I don't like this position. But out of nowhere, Stealth Ninja might be able to help him out. They're trying to work together to take down Laws.
I think the fact that Brawl didn't get banned is almost helping TLD more than it is BAP. On opposite sides of the lobby.
While Cow get a good pick onto Toilet. With LC losing their player, past them in the standings. Well, TLD, they're not waiting. They're looking for this fight. Beating BAP is crucial. If they can get him, they've got Pine. They've got the contingency plan, but sniped down with that hammer as they take a kill. Looking for Spades. Cow trying to intervene on their behalf, but the hammers are being thrown at Spades. Cow seal away the kill. This could be the make or break for TLD. BAP going out in 7th place with no health left over here. About that situation, as you got the hammer. Take away 3rd place from Ban, but Cow seeing LNF pushing him back, but there's no heart for that instant kill, and LNF have been scattered. Diamond does fall to Verky, but the team's already there to back up the Wisp. They easily can bring him back onto his feet and look for these kills onto Verky. I saw that Misfits had found matches, but right on the other side was TLD awaiting. TLD sandwiching LC, getting a good amount of damage onto them, forcing them into Cow's hands with a Tetraform from Toilet, trying to separate the battle, but Feardeath Fury snipes Misfits. TLD, they try to snipe the pick onto Diamond, drag him back into the fight, right over the wall, right into TLD's arms as they push him into the storm, trying quickly to set him. If they can get the snipe on him, he's still sticky. The heart dictator is gone. Dylan is down, and same with Misfits as they're getting sniped. They had been able to resurrect Toilet, but now they've killed off Diamond. even. TLD Season 1 were able to snatch away glory for them. But here in Season 2, they step up for the first time and take the Turbo Cup.
TLD, the class.